And
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another session of FlavorText. Sorry for the disappearance last week. If you're listening past, present, future, then if it's in past, wow, psychic, I do this bit every week. Mm-hmm. And if you're in the future, wow, psychic, I do this bit every week. Mm-hmm. Well, if you're in the future, you might just be listening on YouTube. And thanks for checking us out. And if you're checking us out from the future, you didn't even notice the gap. Until I mentioned it explicitly many times in my awkward stutter. And so we are back with another session of New Dawn University, a Mutants and Masterminds 3rd edition campaign, where we last left off. Our students at this inaugural class of New Dawn University, the world's greatest hero school to ever exist, they just discovered that, and this was of his own will, the principal of the school is in fact the Mesmerist, the world's greatest supervillain, who is publicly believed to be imprisoned somewhere at a non-disclosed location, is in fact head honcho at the world's greatest hero school, or so it's believed to be the world's greatest hero school. This is the inaugural class, so we're gonna find out. Where we last left off was kind of at that cliffhanger. They all got that revelation, and roleplayed a lot of the fallout with their fellow classmates. And school's going to continue as normal the very next day. We pick up on the I don't know the continuity of the day of the week, but the next day of school.
I think it's Wednesday?
It's News Day.
Yeah, it's News Day.
It's every new day.
It's every News Day. It's News Dawn's Day. And classes are going to proceed as normal. Was there anything anyone wanted to have accomplished between the end of last session and the beginning of this one that we did not get to? Now is the opportunity to do that. Be it a conversation with another student at the end of the night, or some sort of side activity that you'd like to write down and pass a note to me, something of that nature. 3? Yes.
The only thing, I'm pretty sure that I mentioned it, but I just want to reiterate that Robin made a little, paddle along the lines of, a pool,
Very similar to Rin's blocks.
Similar to Rin's blocks, yes and no.
Got it.
That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Last session, Kurt had said he would get my secure line by the end of the day. I'm curious if he did or if distractions prevented that.
Distractions prevented
I
that.
expected, but I wanted to check. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I guess, at the end of that day, if there's additional time, if there's a common hangout area, I would have liked to have been present in that area for people who feel the need to talk.
Yeah, most people kind of went to their rooms with that information, and it became increasingly apparent to all of you that the news wasn't just broken to your class, it was broken to every single student.
Cool.
So everyone is aware of that fact. It is not something that needs to be kept a secret among the student body, but Virgil did threaten that he had effectively planted a trigger in your heads that if you were to try and break or violate your non-disclosure agreement with the school, you would forget what you were talking about, effectively. You would forget the truth of the matter.
Cool.
And so we begin our day, and the DM misplaces yet again their class list. So we begin with homeroom. Beginning with homeroom, Kara, everyone kind of comes in and she's sitting already very patiently, very politely. And everyone kind of makes their way in. There's this foreboding silence just kind of sitting in the room before any of you actually arrive. It's just so thick and palpable. It's taking up each and every seat as if it belonged. And you make your way to your seats eventually. Then Kara speaks. I'm certain we are all aware of... I know we're all aware of. I'm certain we are all facing difficulties with the new information at hand. Classes are going to proceed as normal, as was always intended. Today's classes will handle very much themes of overcoming an impossible foe. I look forward to seeing you all later in combat theory, and this is a reminder to each and every student that if you wish it, the Somnambulance has offered his therapeutic prowess to each and every one of you, and he's doing his best to get to everyone, but his time is limited, and that impetus is on you should you wish additional professional help from him. We have additional therapists on call who are aware of certain things, they will be able to help you process and be a resource. You simply need ask any one of the faculty, and we will provide. That being said, take a moment, reassure yourselves, assess whatever you need, prepare for the day. Thank you. Yes, Isaac.
Does this mean that we're going to be able to work on like mind control resistance now that we have 2 people who can use it?
There are at least 3 effects on campus that alter the mind. We will be working on this, yes.
Thank you.
And homeroom passes in silence. You guys make your way to your general education class, where Boris seems completely unfazed by the recent news, more or less saying something to the line of, if he wanted to do evil, he already would have, but he is not. If he want evil, he do evil, but he did not. I mean, he did, but not now. Huh? He tries to make some vague metaphor out of chemicals being volatile, not meaning that they're going to explode, just you have to combine them with the right elements, and that's how he segues into his chemistry lesson. But as always, Boris's lesson is difficult to follow, and even harder still with everyone's minds on something else. Derek comes... Megaphone comes in.
You've doxed your teacher so many times.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it matters. His identity is known.
Uh-huh.
But Megaphone comes in for English, and he goes, so, y'all want to tell me about the first lesson, the framing I set us up with to begin the year? And Kurt raises his hand. Faustian bargain, sir. Yeah. Deal with the devil. Making an agreement with a higher, or lower in this case, power, who is offering you seeming promises of gold and jewels and love and lust and laugh and everything you could ever want. I want to reassure you all that we are not being fooled into one of those. The mesmerist has not offered everything we want, and he has fought us a couple steps of the way. This is an agreement. This is a professional agreement. Each and every step of the way was carefully controlled and dictated, and his power is not omnipotent, omnipresent, or what have you. It is strong. But we have made sure that there's people on campus who can inherently resist that. We have made sure that there's students on campus who can inherently resist that. We've made sure that there are professionals outside of the campus on call who can professionally resist that. He is not something to live in the shadow of. Fear him, get angry, all that makes sense. But he's not the one in control. Not this time. That being said, we will resume our course study, and he goes back into looking at early 2000s examples of the Faustian bargain in English literature, and examining that and shifting less from the deal with the devil to more lessons kind of handling how people worked their way out of these deals and why people failed to do so in a lot of famous literature. And it is always, 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 he reinforces this fact, the lack of understanding. It is the lack of knowledge. It is when one party doesn't know everything that the other party can manipulate that to their advantage, and does manipulate that to their advantage. Mephistopheles, he promised Faust all these things, but the love he gave him was artificial, and the feasts he gave him were vapid at the end of the day. There was no real boon, just the promise of it that was given to him. And Mephistopheles lived the word of the promise, but not the intent, as is often the case in Faustian bargains. And then you have Boris, again, for math. And he's like, okay, so maybe my, what it called, when you use one thing compared to other, but not like or as a simile, when you make a simile to, it did not work earlier. So, Today we just focus math because math is absolute and not complex. Like I mean it's very complex, but it's not like a megaphone, not like open to interpretation. It is yes. And he goes into a math lesson.
I'm so tempted to make math puns, but it's not in character. This is an act of will.
Can we hear one?
Yeah, give us a math pun.
Please.
You've been teaching math all day.
Come on,
Go for
Isaac.
it.
Well, the nice thing is that, first of all, mathematics, it's not an imaginary system. Like, they're all real numbers. I mean, you might think that it's irrational to believe in them, but they're all real.
As Tira-chan takes center stage. That is our pun prevention cactus. That's Tira-chan. Thank you. And so we move from that into, I believe, How to Be a Hero?
Yes, I think
Yes,
that was
Cool.
right.
How to Be a Hero, then Psychology, then Lunch, then Combat Theory, then PE, then End of Day.
Yes.
Correct.
I got this schedule on lock. I don't need it written down. So we move into How to Be a Hero. Solar Flare greets everyone comfortably, plain clothes, back on campus, with a couple of bandages across his face. He looks a little bruised and a little physically tired. His posture's not as tall as it normally is, but his energy is still as bright as ever. And he welcomes everyone in. Hello, I'm sorry for my absence and having to do the lesson on tape, but please come in, everyone. It's good to see you all again. We all should talk, as is going to be the case with many things and many classes today. You've all just been given some heavy information, and everyone is stressed, and everyone is tense. I'm not going to defend Virgil. I'm never going to defend Virgil. I find his actions in the past utterly reprehensible, and I find him to be a stain on humanity. But the goal of any prison term is rehabilitation. We accept both the evils of his past and the attempted good he is currently undergoing. He made the choice to be evil before, and now he is choosing to make amends. These do not forgive or excuse what he has done wrong, but they ensure that now he is doing right. I did not unintentionally refer to it as a prison term. We are his wardens. He is under our watch and our care. Today's class is ultimately about how to handle overwhelming oppression, how to handle overwhelming odds, how to overcome the feeling of insignificance that is something we all face when we don't understand or simply know we are not enough. This is not the end of what a hero is. Just because you are not independently enough does not mean that you cannot become enough or that you combined are not enough. None of us should consider ourselves alone, except in this case for Virgil. He is the only person on campus without an ally. He's the only person on campus without a friend, the only person on campus who will be vilified day in, day out from here on. And we are not going to tell you not to. You should. He is a villain. He is an awful, atrocious human being. But he is human. Super, certainly, as everyone in this class is, but human. There is not a difference. The city exists as a pinnacle of that. There is nothing separating supers and humans other than genetics. And those genetics are complex and reversible and modifiable and mutable. We live in a day and age where all of that can change. There is no difference. Virgil is not some powerful being we should fear. We should fear him, but we should recognize that fear comes from his actual power, not his reputation, not his perceived. We know his strengths, we know his weaknesses, we understand how to counteract his powers, we understand how to counteract everything that he is. This is his prison, and we are his wardens. And I do not say that we to place responsibility on each and every one of you. I say it to place it on the shoulders of the faculty here. We have failed you many times as is, but this is something we are immutable on. We refuse to ever let him do anything to any one of you beyond what has already happened, which was part of the terms of the agreement. And if you have any anger at that agreement, then I am the one you should take it out on. That is a negotiation that I was present for, and I accommodated. I wanted to offer today's class again as an opportunity to discuss how we overcome that and how we overcome that feeling of insignificance, of belittlement in the face of a theoretical wall we cannot jump over, is we find another way through it. We recognize that the wall is just brick and mortar and cement, and it can be broken down, it can be dug under, gone around, phased through, destroyed, eventually scaled. Everyone has their own means by which they can do this. And while that may feel isolating, not a single one of us is alone. We will be okay. Each and every one of us. Is there anything anyone would like to talk about? I understand angers and frustration, and they are all valid, and I would like to open the forum, as it were. Are you okay, Sarah? On the floor?
I dropped a thing. That's all. Please
Do you
keep
need a
talking.
light?
No.
Okay.
I found it.
Okay.
Apologies for the disruption.
You have nothing to apologize for. We're playing a game of...
She lost a hero point.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Allie doesn't want to be part of this conversation, so she just sort of crawls under her desk. New power,
With
folded
her-
in tiny spaces.
With 14 feet of wings. That's tough.
Yes.
Isn't claustrophobia one of
Yep.
her...
Yes.
So she get a hero point right back.
I so desperately
She
don't
just
want to
found
be
it.
part of this.
Rain would actually, at the mention of discussion in the class, immediately stand up.
Yes?
What do you mean you personally brokered this deal?
This deal was brokered by myself, an important individual who wishes to be unnamed, and Kara.
What aspects of it?
We found mutual common ground with the mesmerist. We worked out and wrote out the terms of the agreement. Everything that he discussed yesterday, and I'm happy to go over again.
And she sits back down, very formally now.
Are you alright, Miss Imura?
Take a wild guess.
It's okay not to be. And then he just continues his class with no one else really wanting to say anything. It is somber, but there's a little bright light forming in the back of your minds, not to implant a thought or railroad how your characters are feeling. But his words do make sense. Certainly the mesmerist had his strengths, but he ruled from the shadows with deception and deceit and in control of information, and you know everything that is present. You know everything on the table. You the only thing missing is the name of that theoretical additional term broker. But you understand the terms, which as a dungeon master I'm happy to re-relay to anyone at any given point in time. You understand the circumstances through which he's working. You understand all of the countermeasures and preventions that are stopping him, and you understand that he's in broad fucking daylight. And it is difficult to work from the shadows when you're living in the sun.
Strong lights cast long shadows.
Yes, Miss Lewis.
In the interest of true transparency, is it possible for all of us to feel what it is like to be mind controlled? That way we have full and complete knowledge.
The difficulty with Virgil has expressly agreed not to do that as part of the terms of the contract.
How convenient.
Then Kara could.
True. I will discuss it with her. And if she is comfortable doing it, then we will proceed. Thank you, Mr. Toner. A Faustian bargain indeed, as Megaphone would say. Just writing that note down.
Yep.
It's a good note.
It's a great note.
Uh-huh.
And then again, he continues to go into it. The class is a little lighter than, it usually is, in that it's not as heavy in material. It is less to learn, and taking the same approach as a lot of the classes today, which is a little therapeutic, as the teachers are trying to accommodate the emotional state of everyone, recognize that not everyone is ready to learn again. And then we move to psychology with the mesmerist. Is there anything anyone would like to do before entering the room?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, there is. So, do you know those headbands that Japanese sushi chefs wear? Rin has her hair tied with one today.
Uh-huh.
And before she even crosses the threshold of the door, she...
Lets her hair down and ties it over her eyes like a blindfold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then goes to her seat to the best of her ability. If she's in the wrong one, she's not giving it up.
I'll assist. Allie leads her gently.
And then she pulls 2 hand-sized wooden blocks out of her bag. One has the kanji for yes. One has the kanji for no. And then she just sits like this, unflinching and unfreezing for the rest of class.
Anyone else?
Oh, that's dope.
You notice, well, you don't, but Kurt comes in with this thing on his head. It is technobabble, and it
Tinfoil hat.
it kind of like it has some circuitry running to his ears. It has a light visor over his eyes. He can clearly see out of it, but like, there's some shit going down. And yeah, just Kurt has this apparatus on his head today. And as he he didn't have it in the last class, but he's making a point to wear it now.
Robin, when she gets to her seat, is just gonna take out
Her paddle, yeah.
have that next to her notebook.
And when everyone sits, Virgil speaks. I get it. You're all stressed. You're tense. Let it out then. I'd like to move to the gym and offer each and every one of you a chance at letting out that frustration, letting out that anger. On me.
Robin just holds up yes.
Mr. Toner.
I know it's not my position to judge your teaching abilities, but what would that accomplish?
It ties into the lesson I'd like to teach today. But if the class doesn't wish to, then you don't have to.
Just Robin holds up the yes.
This is me looking at the party for a majority vote.
Yeah.
Rin is drumming her fingers. She's not sure yet.
Uh-huh.
Really considering.
What do y'all think?
Out
Out of character.
Allie personally has no reason to go fight him just because she doesn't think it wouldn't help her.
Are we legitimately fighting him, or is he just going to sit there and let people take
I don't
pot shots
know.
at him?
Either way, she knows that it wouldn't assist her. If Rin holds up the yes, the agreement will probably be there because she'll be like, oh shit, I gotta back Rin up. But she, in and of herself, has no need.
As a player, I'm sitting closer to the no zone because this strikes me as too easy. This strikes me as suspicious.
That's why I
Wait,
want it.
the mesmerist being suspicious?
Yeah, but the fact that he's like, oh, I see that a lot of you want to hit me. Please, hit me. I'm like, no. No, now I don't want to. It's like when you're in the middle of doing dishes and someone asks you to do the dishes,
And you
you're
just
like,
put it down.
and you're like, well, now it's done. Now I'm not doing
I'm
it
done
anymore.
doing
Now
it.
that's kind of the boat I'm in. I'm like,
See, I'm in the boat of if it's a trap, we are in the best possible place to trigger it.
I don't know though. It's mind control. Mind control is so sketchy.
But it's so cool.
You're going to punch him in the face, he's going to crit, and then you're just going to wake up in the morning and school day hasn't actually
And
started.
that's exactly what's gonna happen. I'm gonna
was
throw a punch, I'm gonna
laundry.
miss, he's gonna like rip my blindfold off and be like, go die. And then my heart was just like,
That's terrifying!
How many rounds before regeneration?
after death, 0.
Unless you have enough range.
Can I power
No, that's
slide to keep her
immortality.
blood circulating?
We'll cross that theoretical bridge when we theoretically get there.
What are you thinking?
Just as a player, I want to go to this scene. As a character, I'm going to actively interfere with what this scene is going to actually try to accomplish.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just checking with the players. If it's not something we want to play out, we won't.
It's just too easy.
But what does Rin want?
Rin doesn't know. In all honesty,
Uh-huh.
she 100% wants to deck the Mesmerist, but this is very similar to she's not going to send her father a letter and say, "Hey, come home so I can punch you."
Mm-hmm.
It's not earned.
Mm-hmm.
There's no honor in this.
Mm.
But when else will she get a chance?
You don't know.
And backed up by all of our friends.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Friend
The-
is generous.
The biggest problem is she doesn't want backup.
I know she
Uh-huh.
doesn't. She
So
never
with
does.
all 14 of us, she especially doesn't want this.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, she's not offering an opinion, but she's both of us
People are going back and forth, and he goes, if we can't come to a conclusion, then we don't have to. The offer stands for the rest of the school year if any one of you wish to fight. I'm happy to take you up on that offer. At any given point in time, 1-on-1, 13-on-1, 150-on-1. I do not care.
a better proposition.
We're going to continue with the lesson. Living in fear. Letting it control you. That is a surefire way to lose. Live with the fear. Live in spite of the fear. If knowing an enemy is enough to imbalance you, then you need to pack up your bags and leave. It is crucial. It is necessary. Knowing your enemy is not a choice, it is a requirement as we move forward. If knowing who I am, if that upsets you, if that angers you, good. But do not let that fear or hatred control you. People like me are a dime a dozen, conceited, powerful, and arrogant.
Yes.
I'm not the only villain you will meet, hate, or fear. I won't even pretend to be the worst. I act with purpose, motive, logic.
No on logic.
Others out there won't. They will be ruthless, they will be reckless, and they will be without reason. They will be ready to kill, wanting to kill, because they let their emotions control them. And this is kind of the crux of today's lesson is your emotions are valid, keep them in check.
No!
You throw no at him.
Pulls
No,
another one out of her
Rita
bag.
grabs your no and keeps throwing it at him for the rest of the class.
Sisters working together.
Mm-hmm. Half sisters.
Yeah.
No, they're eighth sisters. Figure that out. And then lunch. Yeah.
I want to stay in the classroom when everybody else is leaving for lunch.
Okay. Yeah.
And then when everyone
He
else...
has no friend.
God dang it.
I hate you so much. You wholesome asshole.
And come back to the ground and
Yep.
share the same axis and walk up with my short nature to look up at him.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Tonu.
Is it true what Solar Flare said?
I could not tell you. I wasn't present.
So not a mind reader then. He said that you alone here on campus have no allies, no
Correct.
friends.
Correct.
Okay.
Somebody
is
has
true.
to be the moral center of our group, Court.
He's the far left.
So when things go wrong and you get stressed out, who do you talk to?
Myself, usually. Court whispered, nerd.
That sounds kind of lonely.
I lead a lonely life. I'm self-sufficient.
Lonely road.
I wanted to take you up on your one-on-one offer,
Very well.
but not to fight unless you want to spar at some point, but to talk.
We can talk whenever you'd like, Mr. Tonu, but you are on your lunch break, and Trisha will know if you haven't consumed your daily caloric intake.
I'll be quick. I just wanted to let you know that if you ever need someone to talk to, someone to vent to, heroes are heroes for everybody.
Mr. Tonu,
if you need someone to focus on who you are right now and will be in the future rather than who you were, then I'd like to do that for you.
And I will offer a word of advice. And a compliment. Which would you prefer first?
I don't need the compliment, I just need the advice.
You're getting both, Mr. Tonu. The compliment is for not letting fear ruin you. In fact, for not being afraid in this situation. We've been telling people all day that they should be, and I do believe that they should, but you are probably the one person on campus who has no time for that. And so, thank you for continuing to be the hero that I thought you would when I accepted you to my school. The word of advice: do not let who I am currently be the only me you are aware of. As much as I am doing what I think I have always wanted to do, this is what I've always wanted to do. And everything I did up until this point was the same me that I currently am. I did atrocious things in the past to accomplish this goal. And now that I have this part, my plan continues. I'm still getting what I want. It is just that people are starting to give it to me. And so I am not taking lives to do it. That is it. That is the moral change that I have undergone. There isn't one. This is what I've always wanted, and I have not changed. Go get your food, Mr. Tonu.
Yes, sir.
And then everyone goes to the lunchroom. Please roll for initiative. It's my favorite roll every session. It's the lunchroom initiative.
25.
20, not natural.
14.
18.
Okay. Do you want to go first, Isaac? Or
I just went. So
yeah, that's what I was asking. Okay, we're gonna look at Allie. Because you rolled a 20. Allie, you are, grabbing your lunch as per usual.
Mm-hmm.
Today it looks like there's a little more greens than normal. That's peculiar. Because why not just make your lunch a little different every day?
Uh-huh.
And Trisha, gives you a quick once over and nods with a polite smile.
Mm-hmm.
You make your way to your usual spot, expecting, that Rin will join you when she has food, and then the rest of the foodies will join Rin when Rin has food.
Uh-huh.
And before anyone can get there, Jareth sits down.
Oh no, you also killed his mother.
You actually killed him.
Oh, fucking damn it.
He's the ghost on campus.
Uh-huh.
Hey,
Hello.
how are you?
Yesterday was certainly a day, and I'm working my way through it. How are you?
Yesterday was certainly a day, and I'm working through it.
Uh-huh.
I didn't... And he stops for a moment and kind of does that thing where you roll your tongue across your teeth, though.
Uh-huh.
I hope I didn't come off harsh yesterday.
No, you came off as practical, and everything you said was correct.
I hate that what he said today. No letting your emotions control you. I hate that he's right. And I feel like I let my emotions control me a lot. And I just wanted to make sure that we're okay.
Yes. For whatever reasons you think I might, there's no grudge or animosity on my end towards you. None.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think you'd have any right to it, but...
No, I wouldn't, but you... I don't know why I said that. There was a reason
I think
at the
it's
start of the
important that I
sentence.
express that I don't have any towards you either. We can't control these things. Not when we first get them. I mean, some of us, sure, but you and me, neither of us could. I told you I was stuck to that bus for hours. They found me 3 counties over and had to get me home. So I get it. If you could have controlled it, then you wouldn't have done it. It wasn't within your power, and I don't blame you for it. I have the worst feeling about all of this. And
About the mesmerist, all of this, or the other subject?
I don't know. The world. I'm scared for what's gonna happen. And I genuinely think you're one of the people that is gonna walk out of here as, I don't know, admirable. And yesterday was me trying to encourage that in my own roundabout way.
It didn't feel roundabout, but if you think so.
I mean, it's not often people are like, hey, you're going to be a great hero even though you killed my dad.
Hopefully that's not a repeating situation.
I mean, I've only got the one, so.
I mean with others, but
Yeah,
yes.
Anyways, I'm sorry if I've been aggressive at all with anything, and I do still want to push you, and I do still want to punch your fucking face every time we spar, because that is a goal that I can reach towards, and your goal can be get away. You know, I don't mean it from a place of malice. I mean it from a place of growth.
But, like, the thing you did pulling me out of the sky, that hasn't happened before, so that's something that I can work for and towards, because there will be others who can
I mean
do that.
this in the best way, is you are preparing me to do what I think I should be doing in my life. And that is taking down her, you know. And I think you're gonna be the one to do it, but I want to make sure I'm ready to help.
I think that when Moira does come down, it will take more than one person to do it.
I mean, the thing is, I think you're more than capable. Once you get there, your powers are directly in opposition to hers.
They're the same.
Yeah.
It's the same power. They're
Yeah.
not in opposition.
Equal forces neutralize each other.
Possibly.
But you're not alone. So.
And neither are you. And if I can help you be better in whatever roundabout way that is, then I am glad of it. And thank you for saying all the things that you said yesterday, because they were all true. And it's a thing that I needed to know. And on a more practical side of it, I'm glad that you were the first one to bring it up and not some member of the press.
Yeah.
Because they would have found it and I wouldn't have known what to do.
Yeah.
And now, as a hero, I have to and I will do all I can to make certain that that is the only death.
Hey.
I will. It's not a thing that can be made up, but I will work towards it.
And accidents happen. You're in the place where you're gonna remove as much as you can the possibility of it, but no one's perfect. We gotta look at the people for who they are, not their reputation or the shadow they cast. That's what they're telling us today, right? So, and he like moves his arm, but it's stuck to the table. He's like, friends.
Yeah.
And he shakes your hand. And it's firm, but there's no like magnetic grip or anything. It's just a proper handshake. Cool. Can I eat with you?
Sure.
Okay.
Rin will challenge you to something.
That's fine.
And if you want to attempt to... As a plate just comes flying at the table. If... I know that in the 2-on-2, we didn't get a chance for you to practice the thing that you wanted to practice.
Who says I wasn't trying?
So if you wish to try again,
We'll have opportunities.
let me know.
Yeah, don't worry about it yet. And he gives you like a little wink with that. Rin, your foodie ensemble surrounds this. And you see a new face at your table. It's Jareth.
Bloodsport! Bloodsport!
Is that the competition you have at lunch?
No, we're just shouting group name.
Got it.
That's
Kidding.
your group name?
No.
Is that what we're calling the Super Martial Club? Is the Bloodsport?
No, that would make no one come.
Yeah.
So welcome to the table.
Thanks.
I'm sure Allie's already filled you in.
A little.
Would you like to issue a challenge or be issued a challenge?
You know what? You issue the challenge. What?
Me
Yeah.
issue you a challenge.
Yeah. Because if I issue you a challenge, I'm gonna win, and that's unfair.
Issue a challenge, Jareth.
Eating contest.
Ellie just like drops her cutlery.
And the rules.
Whoever eats their meal the fastest.
Rin takes a glance at his meal. What is it?
It's like a steak, some salted greens, a couple carrots, and like a bed of rice.
So it's a real ass meal. How does he think he can beat me? I'm confused.
You have so much that it
You
might
have
take
a
you
mountain
longer
of
time.
food.
I'm also intrigued.
Yours is like that picture of the salad where they stacked all the cucumbers
Yes!
together to make the tower. That's what your meal is.
I love it. I'm sold.
You're on. Okay. 3, 2, 1. And then with 1, he just touches your lips and they seal shut.
And then Rin.
Rips her mouth open. He's like, I concede.
And Rin just. Of all the people.
Yeah.
Oh,
You have a lot of willpower, girl.
You were about to get between me and food. You're lucky I didn't kill you.
Yep.
The issue is still challenged, and we haven't began eating. Armor, count us down.
3, 2. And then he touches all of his food as fast as he can. 1, and just.
And chokes.
I'm like, what?
Yeah. He begins to proceed choking on his food because you've intimidated him into trying. You intimidate him into trying.
Like a
to
fucking
beat you.
gremlin. Just full eye contact, whole time.
Yeah, no, you don't even blink.
Very politely.
Then
like,
final chicken bone, just like. No marrow either.
He's finished his greens. I told you I conceded. You win.
A worthy challenge.
Thanks. And there's like, for a second, a repulsive force between the hands. You're like,
nope.
Then the skin begins to redden as she begins forcing.
okay. Gross.
Oh.
Physically gross. I love
Yes. That's why it's a blood sport.
I'm the one character.
it. Yep. Robin or Isaac?
Go ahead. You still have the higher initiative, and we've had enough other people, so.
Okay.
Cool.
Generous.
Isaac, you are on the ceiling or on the wall or wherever it is you normally take your food.
Usually ceiling, right?
With people.
With
With
people.
whoever's
Yeah,
new
so-
this time.
As far as this time, we're going after Mona.
Fun fact, but that's the person I was going to have you interact with at lunch.
Perfect.
Hey.
Teamwork.
First try.
Yeah, it's easy to find her. You look where she isn't. There's a dark sphere.
Oh, I was like, that's how you find most people.
Yeah, that's how you find Ramona specifically. You look where no one is.
Oh.
The darkness. The darkness. The brood. The edge. And you make your way into the bubble of darkness. And you find Ramona sitting and politely conversing with you can't tell who. But she's having a conversation with 1 or 2 people.
Hey,
Oh, hello. And she glows just a little brighter.
how's it going?
Good. How are you? Are you okay?
Oh, stellar. Who else is here? I'm Isaac.
And you hear like 1 or 2 students that I don't have right now that are
Fine.
just I'm here and
So the voices are clearly coming from actual humans and
Yes.
not the shadow itself.
yeah, actual people.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just wanted to first of all ask how you were after yesterday. Cause
I wanted to make sure you were okay after yesterday.
Oh, it's fine.
I try not to let that get the best of me, and sometimes it does.
what is that?
As best I can tell, that is my anxiety. That's it.
So it only comes out when you are in a state of like hyper panic?
When I'm overwhelmed or panicked, yes.
Oh, there goes that plan.
What on earth was your plan?
To try and help her with it.
Mm-hmm.
To fight the shadow.
Probably.
I'm gonna suplex it into
To
the
love
sun.
the shadow.
I was gonna ask if we could be friends with the shadow. Well, I'm sorry to have brought it out then.
That wasn't you, that was him.
Mm-hmm.
Virgil. He was the one who did that, as far as I know.
Is it... Because it sounded like it had a personality all to itself.
That's news to me. I've never talked with it.
Okay.
I'm usually out for that duration. I go kind of catatonic.
Okay. Huh. And do you know if it just shows up while you're sleeping?
I mean, usually it's just this. It's what's around us.
And there's no talking or personality when it's just around us, right?
No. Just when I get overwhelmed, I go catatonic, and people have told me kind of what it looks like, but I don't really know.
Has it always been like this?
As long as I can remember. I mean, my first memories are of me and, darkness. Not that I was born with this, but, you don't remember things when you're really young.
Mm-hmm.
And all my formative memories are pretty isolating.
Why?
Because I can't even see you.
Yeah, but you can hear me.
Yeah. I had people to talk to, but there's something about contact or vision that I never got. Contact makes me incredibly uncomfortable anyways.
Sorry to hear that.
It is what it is. I've accepted it as part of me, and I'm working on it, but it's taking time. It's part of what I'm trying to learn here is how to control that, and also if there's a way that I can control that other part of my power. Because, as far as I can tell, it's a lot more destructive in nature, and that's something that if I could use would probably be useful.
Yeah, did a number on the wall. Did a real good job on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Do you... Given that it's your anxiety, have you ever tried to make the connection, like, in periods of your life where you're under more stress? Is it stronger, weaker, like darkness bubble, bigger, smaller, that type of thing?
Usually the bubble gets darker. Not bigger. It's always the same area, but darker. And usually the light that I give off gets brighter. The more people are looking at me, but like if it was a scale of I guess 1 to 10 and every eye on me was like a 1, cumulative and all,
Mm-hmm.
when I'm under duress, every eye becomes like a 3. Or something like that. It's hard to explain.
Well, I think you did a good job. Just gets worse when you feel bad.
Yeah.
I don't have a plan yet.
Well, thank you for trying, Isaac. I just wanted to make sure that other part of my power didn't do anything to you.
No.
Okay. Thank you.
I don't have a plan yet. But when I come up with one, I'm gonna figure out some way that you don't have any anxiety at all.
I don't know if that's the way to do it. I think anxiety is something that some people live with, and I think trying to push that out of my life is the wrong way to do it. I think it's more learning to live with it. I think that'll be better for me in the long run, but I've definitely wanted to do what you said and just get rid of it all entirely. But even thinking about trying to do that stresses me out. Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, I know this is gonna sound weird, but just, I don't know, getting you used to human contact?
I'm trying on my own, but I prefer if people don't touch me usually.
Would it help if you just touched other people?
I have my physical therapy handling these things, Isaac. Thank you.
Okay.
One more, good court. Thank you. Bathroom sink, please.
Oh.
It's colder water.
There's cold water in the fridge.
If I ever do think of something, I'll let you know.
Thanks.
And
I
if you-
appreciate it.
If you think of something, anything you need, don't hesitate to ask.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm okay. I just wanted to make sure you were okay. Because I know that when I get overwhelmed, I can be a lot. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be a lot. I just want to be a hero.
Mm-hmm. You will.
I am not looking forward to this festival. How are they even gonna showcase me? You can't see me most of the time. Unless you're in my bubble.
Do you show up on infrared?
Yeah. I mean, I give off heat, don't I?
I think so. You felt like it. So I think that'd be a start.
Yeah. They've probably got some methodology.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the goal, is record it and then show the footage later or something.
Mm-hmm.
A very clean and polished version of what we are.
Even if they show the rough stuff, it's our job to figure out
How to
make our
handle
rough,
it, yeah.
make our rough stuff better.
We don't know what they're gonna show. But at least it's nice knowing it won't be live, because that might change how my power worked.
Mm.
Big time.
Mm-hmm.
Usually people have to be in my bubble to see me, though. It's like a lighthouse, you know?
In what way?
Well, I mean, if you step out of the bubble, you can't see through it. But the moment you're in, you can see the light I'm giving.
Well, at the very least, this is the way I see it. When I step out of the bubble, I'll at least imagine you glowing.
Thanks.
So, whatever I can do to support you.
I appreciate it. That's what we're all here for. Ganbate.
What's the mask for, by the way? It's really cool.
I like it.
Yeah,
That's it. I just like it.
Okay, it's really cute. I like it.
How is she eating through the mask?
She's not. She takes it off to eat.
Okay, just kidding.
Just the bear mask on. It's her extra power.
I don't know, maybe.
That's why she cost so many PowerPoints to build.
The fucking pharyngeal jaws of the alien versus predator.
No, it's like those fish where like the parasite crawls in, eats the tongue, and then becomes the
Oh,
tongue
gross.
and eats.
Stop,
No,
stop,
That's
stop.
what the shadow
No,
is.
we're done. We're done. We don't talk about that. That's the DM throwing up the X. Ugh.
Got it.
Cool. Heard.
Duck mouth. Have you ever seen a penguin mouth?
Okay.
Is there anything else that would be helpful to know? Because knowing that physical contact made you like worried, that would have been helpful going in. Is there any things that I should know that would help me support you better?
Not that I'm aware of, and I mean, I didn't tell people that because if I wanted to have any chance at winning these combat scenarios, then I have to get overwhelmed. Because as much as you said to, try and get rid of that anxiety without it, I don't stand a fighting chance against anyone.
Why not?
Because I don't stand a fighting chance against anyone.
Right now, maybe.
Yeah, I know, right now. So maybe I'm just not ready to, whatever, process it. I don't know. That's a little too heady for me. Is that important work, Dex?
124, that's Friday, yeah.
Go ahead and respond to that.
Go ahead and
Yeah.
do what you gotta do.
Ganbates, do your best, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
I did it.
Ganbate.
Ganbate.
If she was talking about both of them, it would be gun baton.
I don't know.
I know there's a plural one that I've heard.
I don't know.
Like, let's do our best. I don't remember what it it is, though. I'd have to find the source again.
feel like
Demos.
Gambatemos!
Yeah, we're speaking
Look, if we
Japanish.
have Tira-chan,
Japanese.
Gambatemos.
Japanglish.
Japanish.
Gambate is like the imperative.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
telling someone to do
Yeah.
their best. And I know there's one. It's literally just you change the suffix,
Mm-hmm.
and it becomes "let's do our best," but I cannot remember what.
That's
the fuck
okay.
it is. I want to remember what the fuck it is.
You can find it another time.
Yeah.
Duolingo.
Yeah, it took too long to load.
Yeah,
There's no chance.
Duolingo.
Oh, sorry.
Just that's what happens because
Yeah.
they're not
The
two
Duolingo
separate apps,
mascots.
so I can't just leave them open because they're trying
Yes,
out
no.
one separate app, and it's just obviously screwing over because now they're two apps and I can't keep them both open at the same time.
Oof.
Is what it is. I'm working tomorrow, so
Good.
Okay.
not just if we're bouncing ideas, no one can see you when you're in the bubble, right?
Usually, but I mean, if I feel eyes on me, like I've got a good sense. You know, most people do when someone's looking at you.
Can you see other people?
I can see people in my bubble.
Okay, so you can't see other people. Well, never mind then. Sorry, just thinking. I'm gonna eat and think for a little bit.
That's okay.
Is it okay, Best Day?
Yeah, for sure.
Who are your friends as we trail off into the
Yeah, yeah.
narrative sunset?
Yeah, and then we move over to Robin. So Robin, Jareth is missing from your regular seat, and you notice him go sit with Allie.
Again.
Ooh.
And it's not long as you're kind of like, why is he over there? As you just hear another tray next to yours, and Kurt sits down, hands in his lap, apparatus still on his head.
Oh.
Hello,
Hello.
how are you today?
I suppose I've had better days.
How are you feeling?
How are you feeling?
I asked first, didn't I?
That doesn't necessarily mean you get the answer first.
Okay, well, I'm not going to answer if you don't.
Cool.
Perfect.
5 minutes of IRL silence.
It's like the reverse of a Canadian standoff.
Yep.
So that's new.
Rub it in his face.
What?
Rub it in his face.
You're
Yes, well, if Virgil's power works on sight and sounds, and I'm making it so he can't.
what'd you come up with?
All audio I hear is distorted, and all vision is not distorted going out, but it's like and you look and you can't really see through his little visor. Like, it's transparent, but like it's just transparent enough that you know it is transparent, but you cannot get through it.
Sunglasses.
Not quite. Not quite.
It's projecting an image of eyes.
So it's they're bending light around
Mhm.
your eyes?
That's more or less it.
Oh, clever.
Yes. So
So I'm guessing you came here because you have something to discuss, because you do not make contact lightly.
don't. That is a correct assessment of me. Very astute. Yes.
What's wrong?
I don't like being here anymore.
At this table or at this?
Imagine! Mid-conversation, he's like, this is really bumming me out.
I believe it of Kurt.
First, ouch. Second, this school. How are you handling it?
I am trying to decide what a villain is to me.
Very different than I thought. Both what you're going through and what I thought a villain is.
What do you think?
I
Right?
yes. I feel like this is something the public should know. I feel like this is something the world should know. Right?
To speak purely selfishly, if they did, we would not receive the same quality of education.
Is it quality if it's taught by the world's greatest villain?
Absolutely.
What is he teaching us?
How villains think.
Is he teaching us how
Precisely.
villains think or how he thinks? He's said it himself, he's conceited and arrogant. He's not every villain.
No, but he's studied them all. You've spent at least as much time in the library as I have.
More.
Exactly. Doi.
Did you know that every one of the villains we faced, off campus, appears somewhere in a history book?
Yes.
I mean, all of them.
Yes.
None of them should have been alive.
Which is its own mystery.
Or is it, I don't know, someone altering our memories to make us think we fought certain things? I don't know. I hate this. Very plainly, I hate all of this.
You hate the not knowing?
I hate Virgil. I hate this man who wears this aura of greatness and menace as naturally as I do my glasses. I hate that I feel like I'm being used. I'm not someone who is used. I use people, yes, but not in the same way as him. I create mutually beneficial situations where usually I'm coming out ultimately ahead. I'm gaining more than you are, not because I'm malicious, just because I'm resourceful. I'm planned, I'm thought out. And most of the people who I'm offering these things to, they're happy to take the little benefit. That's not the same, right? What I'm doing, using people, it's not the same as he does, right?
No. You're not taking away their agency.
I mean, I'm certainly manipulating them. You do it, that's why I came to you, I guess. We both use what we can to get ahead.
Which is why I'm trying to define what a villain means. Make sure I'm not.
No, I don't think any of us are.
Not right now.
That's the fear there, isn't it? That not right now is what is the case, but it just feels wrong. It feels vile.
Well, as someone who tries to come out of any bargain ahead, treat class with him the same way. Treat the school the same way.
The only way I come out of bargains ahead is by being better informed, and no one here on campus is better informed than him. We don't even know if we can trust the information we have.
That's why I want to know what it's like. To be under his control.
But he is cleverly not letting us know what that is.
Well, maybe Kara will.
Maybe. I'm sorry, I'm not coming to you for solutions, I'm just coming to you to talk. I'm not coming to you to get anything. I just hate this.
Have we tested if we can actually tell people?
I've been debating it, but I'm afraid of the repercussions.
Do you trust your family?
No. They're too simple. Virgil Cowell is the mesmerist. Okay, it works with
People who already know.
people who already know. I haven't tried sending it through a drone or riding it or anything like that.
Well, given that we're in different dorms, you can try.
But what if that does something? What if then I forget? What if then I'm expelled and have forgotten? Then I'm not only left with the defeat, but not knowing why or how I was defeated. I don't know how to grow. I don't know how to adapt. I don't know how to overcome that situation. All I'm left with is a sense of unchanging failure. That I, Kurt D. Howitzer III, wasn't enough.
And that's the whole point, though, is that we individually are not necessarily enough.
How much will I forget, Robin?
I don't know.
Which is why I'm not willing to take that risk. So don't entice me into it, please.
All right. I respect Hayden. We were tricked into a school that so far, at least, is through unforeseen means holding up its end of the bargain.
What?
It's still teaching us how to be a hero.
Yes.
We weren't lied to about that.
No.
Just how. And isn't that how villains work?
That is a bold accusation to make of the entire faculty.
Perhaps. They were holding up their end of the deal set forth by Solar Flare and Kara Price and somebody else. And
Who do you think that is?
I don't know yet.
Do you think it's one of the Paragons? Or perhaps Solar Flare or one of the other big five?
Solar
Lunar
Flare's
Eclipse,
on
forgive
there.
me.
You're good. I don't know.
I feel like knowing who that is would give me more information.
It would, objectively.
Yes, but on the character of the deal, on the repercussions I might face if I tried to tell someone.
Well, the ultimate test would be to try to tell Kazekage.
Again, don't entice me into making these.
I'm not meaning to entice.
Right.
Merely, I suppose warning, given your desire not to test the boundaries.
You're giving me a warning?
Yes, specifically don't, if you did decide to try to test, don't try to test it with Kazekage, because then literally everything would be shut down. Given that the mesmerist to him is the white whale, as it were.
Yes.
To make an archaic reference.
Sure. Okay, thank you. And he gets up, having not touched a single piece of food on his plate, and moves to a different table.
Nutritia.
Hell to pay.
At dinner, she just gives him a shot full of vitamins. Take your plate, move on.
And we move to combat theory.
You know, she puts the shot on the plate and she's like, either you can do it or I can do it.
At which point he's like, okay. And he takes it and turns it into a fucking Tide Pod looking thing and just chomps it, because that's his powers.
Exactly. And she's like,
Okay, nutrition. Hum.
did it.
Probably has been doing it all his life. Is just vitamin tablets. So you don't have to
Very
pause for
Noriko-esque. Yeah. In combat theory, Kara has signs on the door basically saying, go to the gym.
To the gym!
Yeah, and you guys make your way over to the gym. Kara is wearing, like, very appropriately athletic attire. This is the first time you've seen her not in a suit.
Oh.
And her hair's down, and her glasses are off, and she looks at everyone. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to combat theory today. We're doing a little bit of applied practice. The thing we've been talking about all day in all of our classes is how to overcome an insurmountable foe.
Oh, god damn it.
Yep. And she cracks her knuckles. Today that will be me. How do you overcome someone who understands you so completely, so inherently, so naturally, that, well, they're your perfect opposition? How do you beat someone who, by all means, should thoroughly trounce you? Because, with a polite reminder, everyone, and she creates a snowbank in front of her, and then you forget why you're in the gym with a snowbank. And then, like, you just hear this echoing sound throughout the room. I am here, and she walks out from behind the snowbank. And I'm not just insurmountable for a single one of you. I theoretically should be able to overwhelm and counteract every one of you. My power is the perfect foil to everyone. And I'm not saying everyone at once. That is how you would beat me, by the way. Everyone at once. But today's test, as it were. Smaller groups. When you don't have everyone available. With everyone available, you probably could beat me. But I'm thinking groups of 4, maybe.
What a convenient number.
Since there are
14. There's 14 of us.
14. Ryan, 14. 4, 3, and 3.
That sucks to be one of those groups of 3.
There's less powers for her to use, though.
Technically true.
Every match should theoretically be even, but I just figured, yes. And I want to reassure all of you that as much as this is a class in defeating this theoretical insurmountable foe, what you're looking for today is how do you find your own weaknesses? What flaws do you see in your power when it's utilized by someone using it in the exact same way? In addition to that, as much as it's been offered a couple of times today, you can freely and recklessly use your powers in this class because I will match you in kind. There is no fear that you are doing anything malicious or that you are being manipulated into a situation with me. You can go, as
You would say.
heard said, balls to the wall.
Huh.
Okay, boomer.
Can I? Can I, as the youth say, go ham?
That's what I thought I was going to say.
I debated it, but then I was like, the other one's a little funnier.
Oh, I just realized how fucked our group is.
Yeah,
We can't do damage to her.
We got you.
We just have to keep her going long enough for the calories to give out, because we know that works with you.
Oh god, this is gonna suck.
So much Z-axis
stretches.
bullshit.
You're all welcome to form your own teams, or for lots to be drawn. And there's groups already forming. Like, Rex and Terrence, like, who's our third?
Me!
Oh no.
We're all going to split each of the different groups, so you have to run it 4 times.
And so you see something interesting happen, and that Ares and Fia group up, and they're like, so who's the third? And they decide, like, they grab Ryan. So Ares, Fia, and Ryan. Yeah.
I like
They
it.
can't have a team of 2. That's not fair.
I love you, Cord.
Mostly.
What about
So-
them? Gotcha.
It's gonna be a fun fight to watch.
Who's?
Of course. I love
Fia and
you.
Ares. I'm excited to see the 2
And Ryan too, don't forget about him.
You watch the 3 of them form up. Very clearly, a bit of transparent logic behind their teaming. And then you've got the 2 bros, and they grab Ramona.
2 bros chilling in a hot tub.
5 feet
feet
apart because they're not gay. They're also brothers, so no.
So definitely 5 feet apart.
But they could be gay.
This is true.
Not for each other,
Uh-huh.
but they could
Just
be gay.
in general.
All correct statements.
Yep, and that's where we stop talking about that. It's their 13. And then who else is paired up? Who
forgetting
cares?
how young
Who really cares?
The other team would be Rita.
Rita, Lenny, Jareth,
Rita, Lenny,
and
And Kurt.
And
Kurt.
Kurt.
What a team! Oh my god, what a team!
That's a powerhouse squad.
Holy shit! The 2 teams of 4. These 2 teams of 4 are like, damn, we are
Yeah.
coming for her.
We are
Yeah.
either fucked or going to fuck shit
So,
up.
Exactly.
as far as like how this goes, I do want to play these out. Not literally me rolling combats without you guys, but
Narrating.
yeah. So we get into the first, which is going to be Ryan, Fia, and Ares, and immediately Kara is at a disadvantage Because Kara can't grow wings.
Mm-hmm.
Kara can't grow horns.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know that.
Well, you learn that very quickly as Kara's like, okay, interesting decision. And the fight starts, and Kara immediately just lifts up a foot and stomps it into the ground as this ripple goes out, and like Fia is immediately like caught flat-footed, as it were. She falls prone, as it were, mechanically speaking. And as far as like, and then immediately she's like, owls have good hearing, don't they? And just screeches Supersonic and Ares, who proceeds to screech back. And it's that very anime banshee, yeah. And they cancel each other out. And then she runs behind the bleachers.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Yeah. And yeah, there's a moment, and then suddenly Kara is like strangling Ares in a chokehold.
She runs behind the bleachers. Are all like, "Wait, why are we in the gym?"
It's like the teacher told us to meet us here. She's late. If they're 15 minutes late, we can leave.
It's way past 15 minutes.
But like she makes a running dive off the bleachers, catches Ares, like tackles him to the ground, and then like just I don't know where you see Ryan running up, goes for this nerve strike, and she's like, I know you're there, because she can tell based on powers and presence, and just promptly like turns around, gives him a good kick to the chest. Like she is trouncing these students who formed a team that theoretically would give her the least advantage. Of you can't see me when you're not looking at me, and I can't copy your two powers. But she is physically adept and using the information she does have of proximity-based power knowledge. Like she can tell who's near her and what their power is.
She's so cool.
Yeah. And it's not long before she has incapacitated 3 of your classmates.
Fuck.
The fight with the Friedman Bros and Ramona goes very differently, as immediately like you watch Ramona and Rex exchange like some quick words as this bubble of darkness goes up around Kara. And then Rex whispers something into Ramona's ear, and she just stops. And you watch as this bubble fades, and she glows bright, and Kara's bubble fades, and she glows bright.
What's happening?
And then this shadow emerges from Ramona's shadow. This menacing humanoid, maybe 5.5 taller than that, close to 6 feet, with these 3-foot-long talons on either hand, just dragging on the floor, looking at Kara. And Kara has nothing come out. She just glows a bit brighter. And you watch as then it is a battle of Terrence keeping pressure on her with this constant snow forming that she has to work around and maneuver around, with Rex throwing out these sound bursts to kind of like mess with her understanding of direction. She's canceling them out as best as she can, but she is kind of overwhelmed by the coordination between this team. The previous team definitely had the power-based advantage, but this team is coordinating well. And just as it seems like all is about to end, this shadow looming towards Kara goes for the strike, you watch as this sequence, like, she's kind of cleverly set up in such a way, she shatters one of the windows in the auditorium with a sound burst. Light glances off of a snowbank she created earlier and pierces the shadow Ramona had created.
This bitch.
And promptly freezes Rex, shouts at Terrence, and like in not too long after that, after being backed into a corner, takes out those 3 students. And she's like, I'm glad she was okay with that, Rex, but not cool, I think. And she goes over to him for a bit, or to Ramona for a bit to try and console her.
Rex is such a bitch.
A little bit.
Such a fucking punk.
Yeah. And then we're gonna move to you guys and do the other party of 4 after this.
Okay.
So let's please politely roll for initiative. The audit.
Do we have any strategies?
17.
My strategy is punch her before she can punch
7.
me.
Same.
8. You wanna
21.
So I got 21,
Or what's your
17.
+2.
roll? +1. So
Cool.
What were the other numbers? 21, 17.
They both got
We-
9.
We
Both
both
got
got 7, but my initiative bonus is higher.
Okay.
So Allie's gonna go first.
Robin. Who was the 21? It was Isaac?
Me!
No, it was Rin and then Isaac. Okay. Rin, you're up first as you're approximately like 40 feet away in the auditorium and she just cracks her knuckles. And you watch as her knuckles kind of break.
Takes getting used to.
No, it doesn't.
Rin, almost 3-point runner stance, just launches herself straight at Kara. Because what better way to win a fight than to start it?
Yep.
And I'm just gonna throw a fucking punch.
Oh, Rin.
That's a natural one.
So you miss.
Yeah, I do.
Just run right past her.
And you,
That's the
you go for this blind launching haymaker, your usual start, and she's just like, takes a while to get used to it, and just kind of leans back as you miss. Just well. Isaac?
So I don't know if any of you have plans.
As we
Idea,
watch.
just if Rin gets punched a bunch, Robin, just grab her, take to the sky, out the broken window,
Got it.
and I think we should just let him fight for a bit.
Just empty the caloric tanks.
I mean, I could take general pot shots at her.
Take a few, but then fly. We'll lead her up into the sky.
Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
Isaac,
You know
what?
what?
Are you
I'm
doing
gonna
for your
trust you.
My
turn?
turn.
That's about as much free conversation as
Let
I'll
you
get.
get hit a bunch.
I'm going to held action that if Kara comes against these two or myself to fight her.
Sure. Yeah, you'll go ahead and held action. If Kara advances towards your squad of 3, then you will
Then you will.
Attack Kara and try to
Attack
interrupt
Kara.
her
Cool.
by means of combat.
So her turn. She Robin, can I see your character sheet?
Yes.
Thank you.
That's such a dangerous thing for a dungeon master to say.
What's the thing where you take a moment to get a +5 to hitting them?
Aim. Take aim.
Thank you.
As a standard action, you can aim.
Because I know that you can basically like skip your turn
Uh,
to wait to
and
get better
it
next
won't be a
turn.
ahead.
+5. It'll be a +2. It's only a +5 if you're trying to punch them.
Okay.
It's only
Thank
for
you.
close range attacks that it's a +5.
Cool. She's gonna go ahead and
For short range attacks, it's a +2.
Rin. She's going to try and throw this punch at you.
Understandably so.
14.
14.
Yeah, that's gonna hit. So go ahead and make me a toughness check followed by a fortitude check.
Toughness is a 18.
Cool.
Fortitude is 22.
Okay, you'll suffer 1 wound, and you feel as her fist connects with you, your body becomes to get hyperdense, but you kind of brush your chin off of the strike before it can have any lingering effect.
Ren, like, that's all.
Oh yeah, no, it's like you get hit, and then your jaw. And she's like, okay, that's 1. And then turn order shifts to Allie.
I'm going to, I guess, aim. I'm going to take a moment to try and
you'll
center
spend
it
your
on
standard to
her
gain
heartbeat.
+5 next turn?
Only +5 in close range. In short
+2,
or further,
okay.
it's 2.
which
+2.
is still +2
Okay.
more. Because if she's got his dodge, I need to take a minute to think about it.
She has her powers.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have her
Okay.
stats.
I know, but I'm concerned.
Robin.
We don't know how she applies these powers.
Exactly.
Is the, or rather, why not? I'm gonna spend a hero point to make the broken window right above her.
Sure. There's a broken window right above her.
Cool. I would like to grab onto or kick up and grab onto the steel frame and use my density increase to essentially
Drop it?
drop it on her.
Cool.
Smart.
So what is you have the...
Growth is 2.
I'm sorry?
I can make the
What did you
object-
say?
I said the growth power is at a rank 2.
What do I need to know as a dungeon master as far as damage is concerned? Thank you.
It is increasing it by 200 pounds.
200 pounds. So it is going up 2 ranks of mass?
Correct.
Okay, this was a steel frame, so I'll put it right there. Okay. It is going to here, and then you are trying to drop it on her.
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to have her make a reflex save.
'Kay.
Instead of...
They make a dodge check, and
Yeah.
if there's no like evasion type thing, if they pass, then they don't take any.
And on
Do I also have to make a dodge check, considering I am
Yep.
melee range?
Yeah, you do.
That's a 12.
Okay. I don't know what that DC is.
It's probably more than 12.
I'm assuming 10 plus the rank of the what you threw, which was now at a.
It just dropped.
If it's considered an improvised weapon,
dropped object.
that would be it's at a +5, so that's a DC 20 I have. But that sounds too much.
+5 would put it at 15.
Yeah, DC 15.
I should probably know the dropped object rules, and so should you. That's what I'll say for the future.
Dropped object rules
Thank you.
You drop object, the mass rank of it becomes its rank for to hit slash, but it's not to hit. They make that reflex save.
Yeah, versus it.
Yep. To get out of the way. If they don't, then that becomes the damage rank.
Okay.
It's
So, Rin, you're
not
fine?
improvised.
That's what I thought. Yeah, Rin, you're fine, because the DC would then be 12.
Woo! I did it!
And Kara's going to make a toughness check as the steel frame crashes onto her, and she takes no wounds.
Oh, that's
As
sad.
it goes to hit her, and it bends around her form. And then just falls off.
Density and gravity and a lot of other bullshit, I'm sure.
Yep, and then turn order shifts to Rin.
The reason Robin has a toughness.
Rin just starry-eyed, like in the anime where the background gets like all pink, and she's like, that's awesome. Leap right at her.
Yeah, you're right next to her.
Explosive kick.
Explosive indeed.
That's another one.
You want to hear a point that?
No.
Okay.
This is very appropriate.
You
As you
sparkle-eyed.
go to throw this kick at her, and she's like, it does take a while. And she ducks under it, just a quick around, and then turn order shifts back to Isaac.
Has anyone seen her use 2 powers at once?
I think she just did to bend that thing.
Out of character in order to save time on the free conversation thing. She had time to be able to switch powers. We've not seen her do 2 powers simultaneously.
Correct.
So, Robin, when Rin gets too injured, you take her in the air, and we all engage her up there, because she can only copy one of our flights at once.
Got
Just
it.
hasn't. Shut up.
It's gonna be either of us.
She's not using other students' powers, Court. Can you imagine how rude that would be?
She's using all 14 at once.
Last ditch effort. That's how she survived every fight. She was using Rins.
So,
Kara, we might not be able to beat you instantly, but we're going to outlast you.
sure.
And I renew my held action to protect the 3 of us.
Rin on the ground like, I don't think I can do that.
Yeah, Rin, she's gonna try and grab you.
Oh no!
Come here for a hug.
That
My
is...
dodge rank is 14.
You can also resist with strength.
Yeah,
16.
okay. She grabs you.
Damn it.
It's a resist. You get an active roll
Yeah,
against it.
yeah.
19.
She grabs you. It is 1 degree, which is just grabbed.
Rin just immediately
Little
like,
grabby.
oh no.
And then you feel a sense of vertigo as gravity shifts towards the rest of your party. And please make a fortitude save if she's still holding on to you.
9 pins.
That's a natural 1.
Okay.
Guys, not liked you today.
You become hyper dense for a moment, and she's just gonna hold you as long as she can using your strength,
Oh no.
And before letting go.
and then just gives you a push as the gravity no longer like affects you in that direction. But she used that to build a lot of resistance and momentum before shoving you at the party. So she's gonna make an.
Shoots me like a cannon.
She shot puts you at the party. So
she was watching Rita.
So I'm gonna have an improvised weapon attack. She's not gonna hit anyone.
Yeah, except the ceiling. Rin just boom.
Yeah, as you just fly towards the party.
We just step aside. Shing!
There are rules to be able to catch. So I want to catch Rin,
Okay.
which is a bad idea.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
'Cause
You're
it's-
gonna
Whatever
get
the
so
damage
crushed.
rank would have been, now we take half and half.
You'll both take. Make a toughness check, please.
God damn.
3!
I got a 12.
Okay. 2 wounds. So dazed and a wound for Rin, and
Isaac, how unconscious are you?
No, Isaac's not unconscious. He's going to take the 3. So you are
The third. It's a staggered.
a wound and
Staggered.
staggered. Yeah.
Rin mid catch is just like sorry.
And that's Kara's turn. Allie.
Oh boy.
I got like
two things right now because I don't have any blood to throw at her. So I'm just gonna go for a general affliction.
You can always use your own blood.
This is true. But, the thing is that Weaken and Affliction have usually done the most damage so far.
Up to you. Court, whatever you were just doing, I have no idea.
What were you doing?
I'm just making faces at the camera.
Yeah, yes.
I'll be real with you.
You know what? Blast has a slightly higher DC, so we're gonna go with that.
Cool. So you have to roll to hit.
So, yes, a roll to hit, and then
And
I'll...
At the beginning of your turn, you choose offense or defense when you're in the air.
I'm not in the air yet.
We're literally flying.
You're in the air.
We're in the air?
You're in the air.
I thought she went straight. Like, if this was the ground, I thought Rin did this.
I did that, and then Kara threw me like this.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm currently 3 dimensions right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that part. Then yes, I'm flying. Thank you. I'm just gonna go for the attack
Sure.
because
So more offense, cool.
that's probably what's going to be needed here.
Sure.
And you
Okay.
do have the
Nice.
+2 from your aim?
Yes, so the aim plus my 6 to because it's ranged.
Mm-hmm.
And then plus another 2 because you're in the air.
So the
So
2 I'm
plus
in
10
the
total.
air.
Plus 10 to whatever was rolled.
28.
Yes, 28.
20 is going to hit.
Yes!
I hope so.
Yes.
And it's a DC 20 for her.
She's going to suffer 2 wounds. She's going to suffer 1 when she's dazed.
Nice!
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Get fucked.
Robin. As this blood just...
I catch... Oh no, because you're not bleeding. Never mind.
No, not yet. I just collided with Isaac. We both have a little bit of blunt force.
Internal
trauma.
bleeding, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the blood's supposed to be.
But you lob this ball of your own viscous blood at her, and it turns
It's
into...
just like the worst nosebleed becomes
Mhm. Flies towards her, and as it's about to, like,
cannonball
collide,
because
yeah,
that's what she just made Rin.
as it's about to cannonball, it kind of like these the individual strands all kind of eviscerate. Like, it strikes and then rolls through like a razor blade. And, like, she's definitely bleeding from an arm from that.
That's awesome, but oh my god.
It's gross.
I'm going to
I want to make your power
use
consistently gross because it's cool.
Yes.
the vacuum suction to bring Kara up
Sure.
and drop.
Your vacuum only applies...
It is perception-based move object
what's the rank of move object on it?
4.
Okay, 4?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. She's too dense.
Love it.
Oh my god!
Okay.
As you go to pull her, and she just... looks up at you.
Uh-huh. Okay.
You're in.
You're now in 3 dimensions. You're not usually
I
here.
was gonna say Robin's just like hanging on to
Hey, Isaac.
the broken window.
What's up?
Being like, at least as far as my power is concerned, if she can't touch you, she can't hurt you.
Well, I mean, that's how mine works, too. Can you basket toss me?
Easily.
Let's go! And then Rin, now in whatever Isaac's dimension is.
Can we hold till my turn?
Yes.
You're next.
You're next.
Okay. Because staggered, I believe, still allows a standard action. Charge attack is the standard action, which I'm going to make a aid another check to...
A team attack.
Yep, a team attack.
Cool.
And...
So you're both rolling, and we're taking the higher, correct?
And then, yes, you take the higher to hit bonus,
Mm-hmm.
and then that person compounds with the other people's help to get more degrees of success. So what is your 2 hit bonus?
The thing is I've got teamwork, which means I am +5 any aid another checks. So if I'm helping you hit,
I'll take that.
Yeah.
if I get 3 degrees of success, I give you a +5 or +2 for, or sorry, 1 degree of success +2, 2 degrees of plus.
Yep.
Okay, because usually it's 3 degrees per plus.
Yep.
Plus
But
15.
he gets...
So 19 to hit.
And I get a 17 to hit without any
15
modifiers.
to hit.
When doing teamwork.
Oh, okay.
And you take the higher bonus, right?
So
I'm
he's
aiding-
rolling 8 another.
Yes.
So if he would have hit her, I get either a +2 or a +5 depending on the degrees.
Cool. And this is versus parry, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then, yes, you get +2.
Okay, +2, so that brings me up to 19.
Okay, 19, you're going to hit her.
Woo! Then she has to make a toughness check against damage rank 21.
She succeeds.
Fucking bitch.
as you collapse your fist onto hyperdense face.
Just.
Like it's just this.
And now Rin's getting a little fed up. You don't do my thing better than I do my thing.
Isaac.
I'm gonna say it again, guys. Robin, take Rin up. We all go up, engage her in the sky, and then I use a.
Hero point.
Well, you're using a hero point.
I just want to punch her again. Here is that, and Rin, still not even touching the ground, is just that other fist is. Does it 15? No. Damn it. Well, luckily that was the fake out. Because that fist goes, and then this one just ricochets back.
What was the fake out based on?
Fake out is basically just a close range attack, but it goes against will instead of toughness.
Okay.
And then this one is a 20 to hit.
20's gonna hit.
Yes, and she has to make another toughness check.
Please remind me of the fake out before you roll next.
Sorry.
That's okay. What's the DC?
21.
She's dazed.
Just
As the second one.
you just
You
punch the
crush her
same
in the
spot
face and then
enough.
whack her the wound on her arm.
Isaac.
I use a free action to render myself functionally prone, and continue taunting, saying you may have our powers, but you can't use them as good as we can.
Sure. I'm just gonna go to Kara, who's dazed, so she gets a single standard action this turn.
Well, luckily we're right fucking next to her.
Y'all are.
I'm somewhere in the. The two of us are like, well, shit.
Hmm.
Is it time to get bloody and disgusting?
Please no.
Yeah,
Please,
she
God, no.
she augments the dimension she's moving in. She's gonna fall up, and
there
she
you go, Rin.
is going to go ahead and try and land on you.
Okay.
So you're making a dodge check because she's just
Okay.
falling.
Yep.
She makes herself so tense.
Oh. That's a 5.
Yeah, you're getting hit. Make a toughness check.
Cool. Cool. That is a 22.
Yeah, dense meets dense, as this would probably hurt if you weren't made of basically the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And she, like, that's her movement.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's gonna look down, looking up, and,
It's immovable object meets immovable object.
Isaac, your dodge is high. It's
DC
crazy
is
high.
21.
Yeah. She is going to hit you, and I need you to make... Allie, can I see your character sheet?
Isn't she dazed?
What's going to help you more are
You're
the
right.
cards.
She is dazed. She is dazed.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Okay.
But she does regenerate a wound.
She would regenerate the dazed before the wound,
Then she
since she is not dazed.
Okay. Thank you for
Okay.
that. Regen.
What will help you more are the cards because they have better descriptions of these powers.
Weaken stamina.
Sorry, guys.
The weaken is modified now to apply to any of the stats.
So Isaac, I'll need you to make
Toughness check.
toughness check. Yeah.
Oh. We've been having some ones tonight.
Do you want to reroll it?
No, I'm fine with it.
Okay. I don't see a DC.
DC
so
is 15. Are you roll? What are you? You're
this
using
was
weaken?
weaken toughness.
DC 15.
Oh, she made a ranged attack?
Yeah, which she hit you with.
Did she beat a 26?
Yes.
She beat a 26?
I thought your dodge. I thought it was 22 to hit you.
I'm currently functionally prone, which means
Then she did not hit you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Holy.
But no, I haven't put the DCs there.
She
I
beat the
have them
22,
here.
not the 26.
Cool.
As like.
What
there's-
is your stamina?
0.
Oh, because that would have
Yep.
basically killed you.
Yep. That is her turn. Turn order shifts to Allie. Allie, she's like right in front of you.
Well, so's the wound I gave her.
Yep.
I'm just gonna try and pull from that.
Gross.
We will go with. I'm gonna try for an affliction, which is I do have to roll a hit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Give me
You
a
have to roll the
second.
hit for everything.
Yep. Is your range? Is
Oh,
your affliction range,
okay.
right?
Yes,
yes.
Okay, so
affliction
it's first the dodge.
ranged.
Cool.
Affliction range, so that's the 15, and I'm going to keep my
Yep.
in the air
unless-
modifier
Yep.
as an attack unless
In-
I say. Okay.
yep.
Anyway, so that's 15 plus 8 in this
That'll
case.
Yeah.
Nice.
Then she makes a
DC.
Fortitude.
15 fort save.
She's gonna pass.
Oof.
Yeah, she's rolling well.
So it's just like a war of the wills as I try to like needle it out just like a strand
As literally,
to each finger.
just for
and
flavor, as you're trying to pull her blood out, she's keeping it in.
It's just a...
Just flavor.
She's
It's
just
a
willing
disgusting
it back
tug of
in.
war.
She's like, no,
No.
this is mine.
Mhm.
This is wretched.
Turn order shifts from
We're probably
Allie
also
to
the
Robin.
grossest group to fight her.
Oh yeah,
Oh
Robin.
yeah. So it's to me.
Mhm.
Cool.
And then Rin and Isaac, you're on deck.
I'm going to.
Good call on the going prone.
Yeah. I would like to fly over behind her and attempt to close combat hit with the aim being the decompression sickness
Sure.
affliction.
Sure.
So.
You're rolling versus her parry.
Yep. I have a plus 3. That's a 10.
Yeah, 13's not
Yep.
gonna hit.
No, it was a 10.
Oh, 10's
No,
good.
I'm gonna
The
hit.
total was the
That's
You're
10.
especially not
Turn
gonna
order's
hit.
gonna shift to Rin and Isaac.
How high is the ceiling?
60.
Thank God. So that means I could
That's
just.
that's a tall ceiling.
Yeah.
It's a
not-
gym.
It is a
It's a
gym,
gym.
so like it's not completely
It's a gym
outrageous.
for superheroes.
But if
Yeah.
it was literally anything more than 60 feet, I would not have been able to reach
It's
her.
a gym for supers. All
The architect
60's
wanted to go for
fine.
60.
So Rin just leaps straight to her and is basically like coming in with like a spinning back cut, which is going to be my fake out,
Cool.
which is not going to connect
No.
in the slightest.
She sees you.
And then
Shenanigans.
it's just going to turn into that gladiator punch with the haymaker coming from the second hit. And that one's a 17 to hit.
17 meets but does not exceed her parry.
Damn, this woman's stacked.
Mm-hmm.
You
She's
mean
a
it
teacher.
comes in one under?
Yes, because ties
Ties
go
go
to
to-
then you hit.
I did a thing. Then
17 is the number.
she makes a 21 damage rank.
Oh. Oh boy.
As the gladiator punch just nicks her.
It doesn't just nick her, it crushes her jaw. She's gonna take she's gonna take
That's 3 degrees of failure on that. So she's staggered.
Nice.
Yes.
And now the muscles begin to pop as that punch comes in.
Another hero point?
No hero point. I'm just gonna take the fatigue.
Okay.
As I basically grab onto the edge of that broken window, which is now probably just sharp and
Oh, yeah.
powerful.
Yeah.
And just legs tuck in and kick comes out.
Dirty.
That's an 8.
I'm sorry. An
It's okay.
An 8 does not hit. But Rin is trying real hard.
Mm-hmm.
Isaac.
You just sliced your fingers off.
I perform heroic feat to gain a rank in a advantage that I do not currently possess.
Okay.
2 in order to boost up Inspire up to its maximum.
Cool.
And I use a standard action to buff all my allies for a +4.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Everyone has a +4 circumstance bonus to the next roll.
Mm-hmm. And with the act of everyone's going all independently, we have to do this together. And then I can also extra effort, but I want to time it out to wait until all of us go at the same time.
Okay, so
be
after
able
Kara's
to-
turn.
Yep.
Because
Just
after Kara, it'll
one
be
at a time.
all of you.
And then I can't hold both a standard and a free action.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to. No, I can still. I'm functionally prone, which means that I get the
-4, +4 on close and ranged effectively. Yes.
prone fighting negates all the penalties to it. Can I still move from being prone?
I'll
Can
allow
I
it.
fly?
Yeah.
Okay, then I don't need to get up.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just hovering Michael Jackson style.
Yep. Nice. Nice.
Nice.
Turn is going to shift to Kara, who she's going to do a quick assessment of the scene. Rin hanging shards of glass on the ceiling.
Just like
Allie there with the like battle of wills for this blood. Isaac on the ground. Robin, you're also on the ground.
No, Robin's
you're-
still up.
You just went behind her.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
behind her, and she's in a vague judo.
You just went behind
ready
her.
stance.
Okay, and next turn she'll get a regen. But she got it last turn. And Rin's is every 2.
Mm-hmm. We're currently dancing regen. It's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I also decided just like not a flip. I just grabbed a coin and I'm like, heads is her regen.
Nice.
Like heads is your regen, and she started on the other one.
Head
So,
heals.
yep. She's gonna take a second as the DM takes a second and figures out what she wants to do. Because she cannot do anything any of you can't. She can just mix and match.
Got it. I was like, what?
She can mix and match, but she cannot go above what your powers are capable of.
She can't extra effort.
Oh no, she could. She can't.
She has our caps.
She has your caps, and she has your skill set. She cannot make up a new power with your powers.
She cannot power stunt.
Yeah, she can't
Got
stunt.
Does she actually get our stats?
She gains any and all of the basically
Power-related
power replacement, which is
That's
why
what
she
I thought.
has super strength right now. It's not because Rin is inherently really strong, it's because Rin's power makes her strong.
Yeah. Likewise,
No.
her toughness level.
Yep. Her toughness comes from the density that
Oh
Robin
my
brings her.
god.
What?
No, I just realized why her toughness is so high.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's because that's a supernatural toughness.
Yep,
Not
got
normal
it.
toughness.
Got it.
Yep.
She's gonna fall on Isaac.
Cool.
Yeah, so Isaac, you're making a dodge check.
Cool. 22.
22 is gonna be enough. As she falls next to you with her move action.
And the flavor for that is, again, it's Michael Jackson, so the toes are on the ground. She falls, and he just...
Yep.
because they're holding
Yep.
tension, and then...
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then with her standard, which she doesn't have because she's dazed, she does nothing. She fell. That was her turn.
I think
It's
better
everyone.
past 2 turns.
Huh?
I think that's better past 2 turns.
Yep.
She's fallen in new directions.
And let's do a team attack. And everybody all at once team attack.
I'm okay
So,
with it.
with a team attack, who has the highest to hit bonus? -6.
My bonus to hit is 12.
Then you will be leading the team attack.
Yes.
And the problem is I have the lowest damage.
The team attack enhances the damage rank.
Okay. Cool.
If
Can
we
I ask what? It's a team attack, but what specifically are we doing?
Yeah.
We'll flavor that based on if you hit,
Cool.
which you probably will.
What bonus am I using
You're-
on top of my roll?
You're basically just rolling to hit.
Close combat or ranged combat?
Depending on how you want to flavor you getting in.
Okay.
You choose.
Then I'm gonna say ranged because she's far away.
Same.
Okay, well, I'm
Sure.
going to jump at her, and I'm going to use my close combat.
You can just fall at her.
Okay, so does an 18... Yeah, an 18 will connect for a degree.
21.
Going from distance, I'm gonna say I've still got my fingers attached to her
Sure.
wound, so that's 18 plus 6 gives me 24.
24, which is 2 degrees.
2 degrees.
So I don't actually have any technical bonuses to ranged combat itself, so that's just a 9.
That's okay. We're currently at 3 degrees of success, so that'll be a
Cool.
+5 to your damage rank.
Okay. Plus 5 to damage range. How many degrees of success was a 21 by itself? Was it just one?
1.
Cool. All right. So that adds, you said, an extra 5 to damage rank. Okay. That is a 19 then.
For her toughness check?
Yep. With all of the plus 5 and put together.
Oof. She fails that by 2 degrees.
Go,
She's gonna be dazed.
go team.
Hey.
I thought she was already at dazed.
Resistance.
She's dazed
Days
again.
doesn't stack, is the thing.
Resistance check against a 14 grab.
She's gonna fail that by 1 degree.
Okay. Affliction of 17 resisted by, I think, 4. So
She fails that by 1 degree.
She's impaired.
Mhm.
And then to move, it is only an 8.
She's not gonna get moved.
Okay. She probably passes regardless.
Well, Your move is affecting the axis of gravity, right? Like that's how it works.
Yeah.
So, for the first moment in your life, you just land. You no longer feel any gravitational pull in any direction. Just Earth.
Cool.
As your attempt to move her with your power cancels out with hers. And the two of you are just on the ground. Yeah.
On the adding up degrees of success, did we add up the plus 4s that everyone got from the previous turn?
We did not.
Oh, damn.
Oh no, we did not.
So,
Damn. Well, for a team attack, I think the best you can get is 3 degrees.
I believe that is also the case.
So the +4s actually wouldn't
Okay.
tack into
anything.
that much.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Unfortunately, but that's a really cool way to make an efficient team attack. I like that. I like that. Inspire to the max followed by team attack. That's super clever.
Do you know the reason that she didn't go down? We didn't describe how we team attacked. That was the problem.
We didn't flavor it yet.
We didn't flavor it.
What was the attempt at flavor? Let's hear that.
What
What was the attempted attack?
I mean, Rin was literally just going to fucking grab the edge of this windowsill that she's on and bunny hop off of it to time her punch with when everyone else was hitting her. Because she was like, I know I'm on a window. Like,
Yep.
I'm on a clock. So I know that I know her clock, which means I just have to punch before it.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Robin is trying to like suction pull Kara into Rin's fist.
Cool.
Which with the +4 you would have.
Uh-huh.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Possibly. Just because it's been a battle of blood wills so
Yeah.
far anyway.
Blood
It would have just
will.
been a... If it's all on one hand as a string, grabbing and then trying to pull.
Gross. And Isaac?
With the
Sound like you're all puppeteering her into some hits.
with the phrase of you can copy my power, but you can't copy my skill set. Doing a breakdance move, getting under, and double kicking up, and then the
Clean.
hands catching her hands as she's going up because I have to grab her for this.
Yeah, which lined up the Rin hit for the theoretical teamwork attack. Cool. So it's definitely some fancy moves, and with a little more coordination, this probably would have been it. But that's just me flavoring her surviving that. Whose turn is it?
Hers. Because we all had to delay into each other. We had to domino.
Okay.
I thought you were the one delaying into us.
He was.
Yeah, but now it's just us and her.
It was a confusing
Oh,
delay.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Basically, initiative's just back to normal.
Yeah, and this
Okay,
is just
cool,
what has
cool.
been told.
Thank you. My brain's sorted out again.
Team attacks are weird.
I'm linear
Regen's
again.
days.
Continue with Kara, please.
She regens days.
Yes.
And
You regen unconscious, then staggered, then
Yep.
dazed.
Yep. And she has yet to be staggered. She's been dazed a lot.
She's
She was
also
staggered once.
impaired.
I staggered her once.
Yeah.
She's dazed and
Oh, she already healed that stagger.
Yeah.
She did.
She is impaired then. The dazed is cured because impaired you don't cure, right?
Yeah, I only cure
Unconscious, staggered, dazed.
staggered, dazed.
Uh-huh.
Those are the three.
So she's at a -2 on all of her rolls. She's on the ground, grabbed by Isaac, and neither of your gravitational axes are working. You're just on the floor, so she can't go up unless she jumps.
she's immobile.
Immobile?
Part of being restrained is that you're immobile and vulnerable.
Cool. So restrained from the grab. So she's restrained and impaired. Okay. If restraints are anchored, yeah. She's gonna headbutt you, Isaac.
Cool.
She's gonna headbutt you
The
with the force of
signature Rin
1,000
headbutt.
stuns.
Uh-huh.
And
Hyper dense headbutt.
it's a 21 to hit you, right?
It's a 21, and she's also at a -2.
Mm-hmm. She did roll an at 19. So she is gonna hit you. Go ahead and make a toughness check for me.
13.
Okay, you're going to suffer. You're dazed.
Bless you.
One wound and you're dazed.
His whole cranium.
And just, she hits you with the force of Rin.
Just Rin watching in abject terror, like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
No.
That's a
I
good
did
natural roll, though.
that.
You do that on a daily.
Yeah, I did that to Rex.
But Daze doesn't break any grapple or anything. It just, you get a single standard, and that's her whole turn. Because she can't move.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes to Allie, then Robin, then Rin, then Isaac.
I'm gonna try for an affliction.
Yeah, go for it. This is
this.
ranged attack, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Range
So she is
and
vulnerable right now.
Still in the air.
Yep.
So that's 15 plus 8 in this case.
That's a hit.
Yeah, that 20
Nice.
freaking-
DC 15.
Okay, and she's...
Fort.
She fails by... This is your affliction?
Mhm.
So it's not by the flat number, it's by degrees, correct? For this one? Okay. Active defenses are halved from vulnerable, which brings that down to there. Active defenses are just parry and toughness, right? Or parry and dodge?
I think so.
Active defense is something you have to consciously take.
Parry and dodge. Toughness
Yeah.
is inherent.
Yeah, toughness is inherent. Okay. She's going to fail by 2 degrees.
And she is stunned.
Okay. Iskara is... You vibrate the blood in her head. She headbutts, and you're just like, I'll use that.
It's a taking the slack that I had. It's a quick lasso around her head to give it a tug, to shake
Gnarly.
it, to give her just rude
Whiplash.
whiplash.
Yeah, you whiplash her with her own blood. God, I love this game. Anyone watching, I love this game. Turn order shifts to
And we're
Robin.
looking closer.
She is stunned, vulnerable, and
Impaired.
impaired and
Robin-
dazed.
Robin is gonna fly on down and, as much as I know that, like, prone, but theoretically she's using all of our powers, so, like, she might be hyperdense already and might not do anything.
She's not prone.
I know, but I'm just looking at my different afflictions.
Oh, got it.
I want to fly down and try the decompression sickness again.
Decompression sickness?
Yeah. Plus 3 to hit. Oh, gosh darn it. That's a 7.
So, you feel this weird,
Not
like,
been rolling.
opposition of wills, and hers just overpowers you. Like,
Lucky.
your power, like, you feel, it's like coming, this is the first time you've ever come against a wall that's made of the same stuff as you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
Turn is going to shift to Rin. Ping.
Okay, so Rin is just going to rise, both hands straight up. Power attack -5.
Right.
That's exactly what she says. That's her war cry.
Power attack -5.
Doesn't connect.
No.
She just stands like
I
shatters the ground
Shatters
a little
the
bit.
ground.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yes.
damn it.
I was dazed. Staggered never goes away, correct?
Correct.
So I only have a standard action.
You have staggered for a minute,
Mhm.
but dazed is what gets rid of your
Yeah.
move.
Okay.
What is staggered? I don't remember.
Staggered is you get a
Dazed
single.
gets rid of your move.
Dazed
still
is
get
you
one
may
standard.
only take one standard, which
No,
you can,
what's staggered? Staggered is dazed and hindered. Got
which
it.
is -1 speed rank.
Yeah.
Okay. Stagger's not that bad.
Generally rude.
Only thing I can try then is going to be a drag attempt, which is strength versus strength.
Cool.
9.
She unfortunately tops a 9.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's my turn.
Okay, it's gonna go to her. She is still everything that she was the turn before. She is restrained and vulnerable and
And she's stunned.
stunned.
Mhm.
Yeah, she doesn't get a turn.
She will have to make that save to increase the stun effect.
Yep. What's the DC on your stun?
15.
And it is Fortitude.
Yes.
Okay. She takes the -2 from that. She is going to succeed.
Then she goes down to dazed.
So she's dazed again.
She's just dazed on dazed on dazed.
Okay, and that save is made at the beginning or end of her turn?
End.
Okay, so she still doesn't have a turn. So we move to Allie.
I'm going to... Because she's tough as all non-fucking sense.
For now.
Julie, let's say dexterity. I want to try weaken specifically. I'm going to go against her strength if this connects.
Sure.
Ooh.
Because she's got you held still, yes?
No,
He's
got
got
her
her
held.
held.
He's got her held. Then this'll help keep her held if it works.
Technically true.
That's a good roll.
If
roll.
yeah, that's
gonna
that'll connect.
What's the number?
It's like 24.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah.
Just- I
DC,
need to know numbers.
It's a
Yeah.
DC 15
And
as
then
well.
She just makes a fort save.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, she's going to succeed.
Damn it, Kara.
She rolled an at 13.
She's
Even
such
with
a-
all of the penalties, she's got a fortitude that's appropriate for her power level.
It's more than, 4.
Yeah.
You know.
She's a champion.
She's rolling slightly above average. She's rolled like consistently like 13.
Understandably so. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
glad she's our teacher. I'm glad she didn't go down in the first round.
Yeah,
Me too.
exactly.
Me too. And then that moves us to Rin. And Isaac.
Robin?
Robin, I'm so sorry. Thank
You're
you.
good. So I am going to try the other cumulative affliction.
Sure.
Touch attack,
Rolled hit.
damaging. It's a 16.
16 hits.
Okay,
She's currently in a lot of pain. A
cool.
lot of disabilities.
So, the attack itself is damaging.
Cool. So she makes a toughness check.
Toughness check, DC, and
What's the toughness check, DC?
DC 15.
She succeeds.
Cool. And then she's also going to make a DC 15 fort resist.
She succeeds.
Okay.
God. Oh.
Robin, don't take this the wrong way, but can you just give us a moment where you're really far away?
Fine.
Wow.
I've already done my standard. I feel like I
You can move.
You can move.
Just get out of the range of her power so she can't use it.
just gonna kick off just other side of the gym.
Okay. And then Rin is just gonna come up with the one hand and
Can
like
you delay? Just let me help you.
that brick breaker's ready.
Okay. So I wish to perform a again team attack and
Good hero name.
to basically help you. So
Sure.
this is at a plus 19. 27.
That's gonna be 2 degrees.
Only 2.
3.
So get a plus 5 at your attack.
Yep.
That's not my dice. All right, this is another power attack -5 as Rin is just right above her, trying to basically just break her in half. It's like a 10,
He's not gonna do it.
and then
Oh right, because you power.
as it
Uh-huh.
hits the ground, Rin is just gonna as her muscles then begin to rip and tear as then she tries to from underneath Kara just throw a -5 elbow.
Extra effort.
I got even worse.
So next turn you are
Exhausted.
Cool. And that's gonna last until you rest.
Yep.
Okay. Isaac, did you want to move?
You're
was my
not
standard.
having
Okay, it's gonna go to
it.
Kara. She heals her days with her regen. So she just healed days, and then she needs to make
She healed her dazed from wounded, but she's still dazed from Allie.
Yep, I'm aware. I have 2 coins here to represent that.
Oh my god.
So with her one action, she is going to ready an action.
Oh.
That's her turn.
Oh god.
Can I roll insight to try and know what it is?
If it gets to your action before that, her ready trigger goes up for sure.
Cool.
It's like you look and she just like
Same girl,
throws
same.
just to Allie.
If I roll that insight, can I still do all of my other nonsense?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Cool.
I was really hoping that would hit.
Me too. I really wanted it to.
I was hoping both of them would.
8 and 6 gets me to like a 14.
Nah. Unfortunately, you're not sure what her goal is. She's got a lot at her disposal. She could even use another student's powers. You don't know.
Oh my god, I'd be so pissed.
It's part of the lesson.
Yeah.
I'll just, since I don't know, I'll just go for. Actually, I'm gonna try a blast.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a 24.
that does, cause that's.
So 24.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you go for this blast, it will hit, but I'm just letting you know what's happening. As you go for this blast, you watch as she rips her own blood out to try and like meet the blast midair as her counter attempt fails.
I like it. The flavor on my end is that the strings I've had, it's just a grab, sort of like disconnects at her, and it just becomes a large whip that I am swinging.
For sure.
And then it's a DC 20 on her end for toughness, I think. I think is what it is.
She succeeds.
Oh
Dang
my
it.
god,
But
she's
that's so cool!
crazy. She's insane. I
That's
love her.
such a cool look, though, because I'm
Yeah.
just imagining like a shield comes up that it's just this massive, like flail of blood
It's
over
her
everybody
toughness.
else.
Her toughness is coming from Robin. Ultimately.
that's
It's
fair.
it's
But-
that anime like cheek cuts.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I was
And-
hoping that you'd get out of range, but apparently not.
I don't know what
Not
range
yet.
is.
Not in the gym.
Maybe if you get far enough away.
There's a window.
Range
Or
is
just
fine.
come back and smack her.
You're
Just give her the hands.
As turn order goes from Allie to Robin.
Are there any loose bleachers?
There can be.
Cool. I'd like to pick up a bleacher and throw it at her.
I was gonna say, like, I'll spend a point for that.
Sure. So you're making it less dense to pick it up
Correct.
and throwing it, and then its density restores to normal with the velocity that it had,
With the
because that's
velocity
how
that
your
it
power
had,
works.
Because that's how my power works. And I'm gonna use the.
I'll say bleacher's that heavy.
Respect.
Because I
then
pick a number.
Specifically using the Throne Mastery
Yep.
to try to hit.
Yep. This is versus her still grab to dodge.
That is a 20, not natural.
That's gonna hit.
Cool. And then
That's a very precise
DC.
bleacher.
Oh,
21.
it's not precise at all. She's gonna suffer 1 wound.
Cool.
I should just boom.
Yeah, this bleacher, like, it
The entire
it catches her
bleacher.
and it kind of, like, rotates the entire grab in a quick, like, 720 as it just skids across the room. And The other students in the room, like, back the fuck up.
Just scatter.
Yeah.
Terrence is starting to throw up snowbanks as covering in case something else shows up.
They should have known that the group that Rin and Robin were in, they were going to win at all costs.
Yep.
Oh no, part of me for story flavor is still hoping she pulls this out and beats us.
I don't want her to, but I also do.
Rin? Unless you wanted to move, Robin.
Robin had to move to get to the bleachers.
Got
I
it.
do
You're
to
right.
get the bleachers,
Rin.
yeah.
God, Rin is running out of shit. She is just low on gas.
Yeah, you're exhausted.
Yeah.
You're getting calorically.
And now that elbow has gone up. She's gonna follow up with just to try and just fucking launch this
The
woman.
uppercut.
That's just 14 to hit.
No.
Oh. As Rin is now just staggering, she's clearly getting dizzy.
Yep. Turn order shifts to Isaac.
But I heal.
18 hit her before.
Mhm.
Her defenses are halved,
Her active defenses are halved, yes.
so 14 should have hit.
Active defenses.
Parry and
Not
dodge.
So active defenses.
Toughness is your inactive defense, because that's inherent.
So it's not talking about things like dodge roll? Okay, then that hits.
Oh, but it's DC 21.
And she takes 1 wound.
I did it! I punched her!
She's currently at like 7.
Still dizzy.
She's taking some penalties here and just rolling way too well. Because she's at 7 wounds right now.
She's insane.
She'll heal 1 2 turns from now. Isaac, it is your action.
The narratively better one has already happened.
The bleacher?
Throwing a goddamn bleacher at her.
So,
Just so fed up.
Yeah, I was told to get out of the way, and that didn't do anything.
you may have our powers, but you don't have our will to win. I make an unarmed headbutt attempt. Headbutt her right back. 16.
16 hits. She makes a toughness check.
14.
Then she's got that. She still succeeds.
Oh my god, she's crazy.
She's rolling stupid well.
As she should, but also, Jesus, Kara, what have you been through? Who hurt you, Kara?
It's gonna
Lots
go
of
to her
training
turn.
regimens.
Us, actually.
She's gonna go ahead and with her 1 action, she still only has 1.
She's only had 1 since I think like the start of the
Basically
fight.
the start of the fight, yeah.
But she's doing fine.
Yeah.
God, what does she do? You're grabbing her?
Mm-hmm.
Robin,
Yes?
she's gonna try and rip your blood out.
Cool.
She's gonna hit.
Okay.
Please make me. This is me reflavoring one of your damaging effects, Allie.
Okay, affliction or I mean they're both
One
gonna
of
be
your
a DC
damaging
15.
effects.
It's a blast.
So blast.
Blast.
It's a DC 15.
DC 20 is
Okay,
for
so
blast.
DC 20 toughness.
You said ripping out, so
Yeah,
that's-
I said
reflavor.
Succeeded.
cool. You succeed as your blood it comes out of your body and attempts to kind of whirl around in a similar fashion to what Allie's been doing with her noose/whip, but you kind of slip your way out of it before it can solidify. And she doesn't have the concentration in the middle of everything to manage to do anything. Turn order shifts to Allie. This fight is a mess.
Little bit.
Every fight in this school is a mess. I love it.
Oh my god. I'm gonna try for blast again, actually. As now that I'm wielding her own blood against her in the most gory, terrible way possible.
Yep. Please.
11 plus 8.
Yes.
Yes. DC 20.
She succeeds.
4 degrees.
There we go. Bam.
Oh shit. Okay.
Finally!
So how do you take her out?
So the last one went as so. A bleacher came fucking swinging by.
And there's a lot of blood in this auditorium right now because it's yours and yours and yours and yours and Kara's.
Okay. So I've got a thought.
Do it. You have
Because
creative
in order to
liberty
throw
here.
a bleacher, you have to make it essentially hyperdense, not dense, in order to be able to pick it up and
It's
throw it. Right?
super. I make it super light so I can pick it up and throw it, and then it regains its density and momentum as I release.
Okay, well, I'm still going to try and flavor it this way, that there is enough blood in this room for me to essentially get a hold of the bleacher again.
And just
And just bring
crash
it
back
slinging
through.
back the other way.
Gnarly. Totally works.
Just like by slicking the floor enough, by pulling it enough, because it just.
You're moving the blood, not the
Crunch.
bleacher. Yeah. As it just crunches into Kara and Isaac and just fight's over. As everyone else is like as you're the first squad of 4 to beat her. You're the first
You
squad
are
to beat her.
under arrest, villain, for villainous acts. You have
the right to remain silent.
Her regen triggers and she's like, it's over.
Oh god. Immediately next to her, are you okay? Like, she's just
Am I
bloody
okay?
broken.
No, she's not bloody and broken. She's steaming.
Rin literally like sitting there with a hand on her forehead like she will be.
Allie pulls out, like, the power bar she keeps in her bag for Rin and just starts handing to Kara.
She's like, I don't need it.
You sure?
I cancel out the calorie thing with Terrence.
Oh, okay. And then Allie walks off again. She did what she could, leaving, walking off.
Why are you leaving? We won.
I just.
And Kara goes over to the bleacher and picks it up and puts it right back where it belongs. Ow. Well done, everyone. You saw where you couldn't succeed individually and overcame me as a unit, and that is ultimately the point of all of today's debacles, is work together. We've said it a lot, but this is the first example where you really have had to. If it were any one of you alone, this would not have been possible.
Nope.
In the slightest. And she finally stops steaming, and like she's back at her full ready to go. One moment, as she like takes a second, you watch her like mentally, it's almost like she's checking boxes off to disable certain powers. And then she looks,
So sorry for the cleaning crew.
oh, we can clean that up. And she immediately pools all of your blood and just like creates a snowbank and deposits it like a bucket.
Cute.
Works.
Huh.
Yes.
That's the opposite of an anticoagulant. That's not how you dispose of a biohazard.
There's a lot of biohazards at this school. It will be disposed of properly. For now, I'm setting it to the side, Miss Lewis. You already had your victory.
Don't tell me to fuck off again.
Oh,
What? Huh?
okay. Wow.
You use language?
That is something that you can sort amongst yourselves as I'm going to prepare for this next combat. She gets loose, limber, starts stretching a bit. So
Stretching a little more than a bit.
Yep, she's against Lenny, Rita,
Rita
Kurt.
and
Kurt, and
Kurt.
Jareth.
Yep.
Gnarly.
It's gonna be the same strategy that we had, but on the ground.
More or less. So,
I could lift a bleacher.
this group is very well prepared, having seen how y'all beat her. And you watch as, like, Jareth and Kurt exchange a quick, like, slide of the hands before the fight starts. And, basically, it delves into this sequence where Lenny is making a point to, like, try and tie Kara in knots, as Kara is trying to avoid those knots, and using Jareth's magnetism here and there to force herself out of any knot she does get into. But ultimately, Jareth at some point grabs Lenny's coils and just smears whatever was on his hands onto these coils, and they manage to get effectively a net of this material woven onto Lenny's coils throughout the room, and Rita unfortunately doesn't have a lot to do here. She's throwing out the occasional, like, impairing crescent, trying to blind and stagger, and basically hide Jareth's actions. And once the materials are surrounding her, Jareth basically crushes Lenny into her. Basically just constricts her in one place with his magnetism, and Kurt comes walking up and touches the metals, and he's just like, he looks at you and he's like, she'll be okay, and skewers her. As he scraps the ring inwards.
Rin just like, she can't recover from death. She can't recover from death.
And they let her go as she starts to steam.
Oh no.
and slowly you watch as these holes, just like this big, couple of them in her gut, basically seal up, and she heals and gets up.
I'm aware that I can do that. I don't want to put other people through that.
Thank you, Rin.
Ooh, if you... Basically, like, while she's recovering and still on the ground and very clearly still steaming, Rin would sit down next to her and be like, if you really focus, and it feels like when you're really trying to, like, force a burp, but you don't let it out, you can really force the steam to get out a little faster, like this. And since all of Rin's muscles are still evaporated, she's like... Which is basically the active healing.
Yeah. You spend your active healing. She's like, thank you. And steams
Just
up.
watching them make faces at each other.
He's like, you probably need food.
Yeah, crouching down next to you is about all I had left.
And she breaks apart, what worked, what didn't in all of the fights. Very, teacher. Thomas doesn't want to do all that stuff. The first group had a great approach in that she couldn't really do anything with their powers, but she just had the martial superiority in that composition. She used like the 1 or 2 powers she could garner from them to nullify their advantages, and ultimately, because she had the advantage of presence-based knowledge, she knew that Ryan was coming, even if she didn't know it was Ryan. She's like, there's another assailant, and effectively used the one advantage her power gave her, which is that presence-based knowledge, to win, and use their powers to nullify their powers, yada yada yada. Next fight was the Bros and Ramona, and she applauds their coordination and thinks that it might have worked if they were a little more together. They clearly had the right idea, which she said you guys learned from. You guys took the ideas present in that, the benefit of going third, and coordinated. Not like they're the ones who gave you the idea to work together, but just flavor-wise, the teacher being like, no, they had the right idea. You guys expounded upon that. Utilized your strengths to nullify mine. Utilized your advantages to counteract mine. Yada yada yada. And the fourth group, what the fuck?
Holy shit! Yeah, I think the whole class, as the fourth group comes up, we're all like, what the fuck?
Yeah, she's like, so they clearly spent the entire time talking about how to beat me, and they made a point that their powers weren't exclusive to them. They scattered their powers and misdirected my focus by effectively, Kurt gave Jareth something he could magnetize, and they put that on Lenny. I had no idea what attack was going to come from where. I can counteract any one power, but when all 3 come at me at once, I have a bit more difficulty, especially when I'm only expecting the one.
fair.
And, for the 4 of you, you should probably sort out what you were arguing about.
We were arguing?
Those 2 were. You have about 5-10 minutes before Monica shows up and takes over the class.
It's nothing personal. It's just that our winning condition was Rin. Rin's the one who can hit the hardest. We just had to make sure that she's going to do damage.
Trust me to work my own strategy.
What was your strategy? Did you tell anyone? Because I know I'm the only one who sounded like was trying to tell anyone about any such strategies other than just, I'm going to try to do just my thing.
The only thing that you were saying was taunting the teacher and trying to encourage other people, which, while admirable, is not exactly what I would call a strategy.
No, I mean the part that you forgot about me saying take Rin and let's engage her in the sky.
She wasn't acting in a way that I thought that was going to work.
So what was your strategy, since you said that you had one?
My strategy was to incapacitate her such that those who can hit hard can pummel her into the ground. To stay at range and attempt to do things at range, but when that wasn't working, I have to work in close. My power only works with touch. So being told to leave the range of my power feels like being told to fuck off, And that's what I objected to.
And do you think that we won quicker because you didn't?
What do you mean?
She was tanking all those hits because she was using your power.
And me being further away in the gym wasn't going to do anything about that.
So you're just going to stay in the gym and watch?
That's what it sounded like I was being told to do. Was to get out of the way of everyone else while they did work and I was just not in the way.
I'm sorry that I assumed incorrectly because I thought that you would also realize that if you got far enough away that she would no longer steal your power and then Rin could just probably sock her in the jaw. So, sorry, let me clarify that. The strategy was we limit the powers that she can manipulate and then beat her on skill and numbers.
Then say something like that next time.
I just thought you could work that part on your own.
If you're one who prides yourself on effective communication, I am letting you know you are failing.
Okay.
Which part do you misunderstand?
Okay. And I want to check in very briefly because it is starting to get a little warm in here. This is Robin.
This is completely Robin.
Not Ilona.
This is Robin.
And this is Isaac, not Dax.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just making sure that there's no actual hard feelings because
No.
I normally disallow this level of PvP at my table.
Mm-hmm.
No hard feelings whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Continue.
Oh, I'm gonna get a cookie.
Can I have one?
Ooh, bring the squishy squares.
Ooh, the squishy squares are good.
Avoiding company names.
Squishy squares?
No, not
Oh, the other
the
squishy
other
squares.
squishy squares. The pillow squares.
Yes, those are good.
Uh-huh.
Thank. I'll also take like 2 of those.
You
These are pitch black.
spend a good bit of time in combat attempting to communicate usually with our adversaries.
Mm-hmm.
If you're wanting to do more strategizing within your teammates, then you should redirect your words.
I did. I went through an entire strategy at the beginning, which no one then did anything about.
Yeah, it was right after I jumped at her.
My main point being, do not treat any of us like we are useless or an obstacle.
I didn't.
You did.
I started by saying don't take this the wrong way. What's your strength? What is your strength? The best thing that you can do?
The best thing that I can do is incapacitate our enemies and make the battlefield to our advantage.
Okay. And if you being there does the reverse of that and turns the battlefield to our disadvantage, what would be the best way that you could help?
To incapacitate the enemy, which was what I was trying to do.
Ignored the first part about making it harder for
You
all of us to
specifically
do
said that my presence was affecting the battlefield
Mm-hmm.
itself. That
Yeah.
still does not preclude me from trying to take down our enemy.
And do you think the benefit outweighed the drawback?
If you didn't want me on your team, then you shouldn't have picked me, Isaac.
None of us said anything about not wanting on your team. I'm asking about a specific situation where she is borrowing all of our powers simultaneously and talking about the strategy of limiting the powers that she can borrow from. In that way, we're incapacitating our adversary by making them less able.
The teams of 3 were theoretically just as capable. limiting her access to one particular power would be not beneficial in terms of the exercise. The point is to try to fight those who have our powers.
And do you not think that we would have done so better?
If you didn't have another power to deal with, obviously. But that's not the point.
The point is, if I'm understanding you correctly, is you don't want to be told off.
Yes.
You don't want to be treated as though you were useless.
Yes.
I'm attempting to say none of those things. The sole thing I'm trying to say is that in one situation that we were faced with together as a group of 4, our tactical approach would have been better served by taking an outside the box approach as opposed to all of us just trying to hit her.
I tried to move her and I couldn't. I tried your strategy and it did not work.
Which one?
The pick her up and drop her strategy. I could not pick her up.
Mm-hmm. Was she too dense?
Yes,
So she used your power against you.
obviously.
Wouldn't it have been easier if she didn't have your power?
Then I wouldn't have been able to use mine.
What I'm saying is what you were dealing with about her not being able to get hurt was the same for each and every one of us. So if we remove her ability to use that, we have 3 other people on our team who can do a better job. And
By
we
this-
only lose 1.
By the same logic, we should have told Rin to run away, so then she couldn't heal.
Mm-hmm. That's why I asked you to get her out of there. The best strategy we had, which is what I was trying to get all of us to do, is all 3 of you get out of the way so I could take her on myself. Because it doesn't matter what power she has, she doesn't have the same training.
I think that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That
You're
is
free to have that opinion.
precisely the problem that I have.
Now, the exercise wasn't fight the chameleon. The exercise was fight someone who has your power. So don't you think it's dishonest to the exercise to leave it? Wouldn't that, in essence, be if I was fighting another person with a hyperbolic metabolism, that instead of fighting them, I ran? Because then they would just wreak havoc wherever they were.
If you were the only one there.
Well,
What's the most effective way of solving the problem?
ending it.
Mm-hmm.
We're solving different problems is the thing.
Yeah.
You're fighting the chameleon, I'm fighting me.
Mm-hmm.
The exercise isn't to fight the chameleon, because it's unlikely I'd ever fight a chameleon, but it's very likely I'd fight another person who's simply enhanced strength.
Mm-hmm.
So the answer there isn't to walk away. The answer there is to fight different, fight better, counter them better. And in Robin's case, the answer to fighting a hyperdense or particularly tough enemy isn't leave. The answer is to change up her tactics. In this particular circumstance, her leaving would have made it easier for the rest of us, or, as I'm garnering in this case, you. But it wouldn't help in a real-world situation. If there were citizens and their lives on the line, I wouldn't want her first instinct to be, I had better leave and regroup.
If we're going to be working as a team, there are going to be situations where we have to break off and deal with certain things differently, better suited to what we can do.
And if, as a team, we are fighting a singular threat, then I expect that the team deals with the singular threat, not whoever's most fitted to it. You're being a pragmatist. Pragmaticist.
Being practical, right?
You had it right the first time.
Pragmatist.
Mm-hmm.
Practical.
Overly so. You're simplifying the problem too much. Imagine that the chameleon could hold those powers for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So if Robin leaves, then it's, instead of 4v1, it's 3v1 against the same enemy for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I was blowing steam. I was spinning my gears.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason we made it out of that is because of Allie. A person only has so much blood in him.
Yeah.
What would you have done differently if it was just you? Because from the looks of it, the two of you were just kind of holding each other on the ground.
What I was doing, at least at that point, is I was making it easier for you guys to be able to have some.
No. Earlier you said it would have been easier if the three of us left and it would have just been you.
Mm-hmm.
If you were just sitting there on the ground holding her, making it easier for us to hit her, how would that make any sense?
Because then you would use Gracie Jiu-Jitsu to be able to handcuff, tie down, however, immobilize the threat, make the arrest without having to knock out the person to begin with.
And you think you have superior martial skill to a trained, professional, twice your age at least, superhero.
Who relies on everyone else's powers to be able to do things.
We
Yes, I
saw
do.
in the first match that she doesn't. So not only are you being a pragmatist, you're being selfish, Isaac. This is probably the first time I've ever seen Robin work effectively with a teammate. Not to mention 3 of them, Jesus.
Thanks.
It was kind of a compliment.
That's why I'm only kind of responding to it.
That makes sense. But all that you're doing is saying my plan was right, and the only reason that it wasn't right is because you guys didn't do it.
So, other question then. Who else had a plan that communicated us that we could have pursued? Anyone else doing an information gathering? Trying to figure out how her power worked? Or were we just swinging at her?
Did you do any of that?
Yeah. The very beginning.
Clearly not, if you think that you have more martial skill than her.
Not the swinging the plan part.
You brought up a Go ahead.
No. Just been repeating the thing you said.
You had a very good point. What if her power still worked for a minute after she was in that person's presence? We wouldn't know. We weren't watching for it. Specifically, I was trying to watch from the beginning, and I asked you if any of you noticed it, if she was able to use more than one power at once, and no one said anything. We have to know how everybody else's power works if we're going to be able to combat them effectively.
You're not going to have that advantage in the real world.
That's precisely what I was going to say.
If you're fighting a villain, you have to deal with them immediately before they do more harm. You don't have time to sit back and let them wreak havoc. You have enough time to garner the information of what they've done to become a villain up to that point, at that second. If they became a villain in the last 5 seconds, those are the 5 seconds you have to garner what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have time to sit there and say, I wonder if they can do this, I wonder if they can do that. You have time to get between civilians and this villain and immediately start throwing punches. Because they're swinging for the fences, why aren't you?
Also, we've worked together often enough at this point. I trust we have a general idea of how to use our powers collectively to our collective advantage. And we did.
As Kara's like, well, that's Jim. And from the broken window in the ceiling, just a ladder of hup, 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 holding each other down. Duplexes come into the room before just cascading back into the original. Hey, everyone.
That's probably the strangest thing I've seen today.
I mean, I heard the window break, and I thought about making a dramatic entrance, because I'm all about the showbiz.
I respect that.
So, hi, everyone. You look a little bruised, battered. Thanks for resetting the room, Kara. And Kara's like, yep. And she, like, takes this now blood-soaked snowbank and lifts the entire thing, because it is now infused with blood, and begins leaving the room with it.
That is so wretched.
Yeah.
It's different seeing it from the outside. Okay.
So, I'm guessing Kara just kicked all your butts.
Sort of.
Yeah, it's about 50-50.
Ooh, all right. That's not what I expected. I expected her to pow, each and every one of you. But good for you. Good for whoever succeeded in that. That was probably a lot of physical activity.
Do some more.
And Hero never gets a rest, so we're gonna go into some more. So the activities today is wow, I sense a lot of tension in this room.
Why? Is it Ryan?
And I was like, no.
From where he's been standing next to us, listening and eating popcorn. No, it's not me.
Just outside of sight. No.
No.
Well, we've got our regular. She runs you through your regular routines of here's your physical exercise today. Here's your personalized exercise routines that she knows everyone's exercise routine. 150 of them in the campus. She knows every single one of by heart and runs one duplex assigned to each student. Well, one assigned to every two.
Every two, which is still pretty solid.
A lot.
Yeah, because she can't go past 7. One assigned to every 2, just in groups, like running you guys through your exercises. And then she's like, but we've got some extra time today, just because you're all already fired up. So, you guys just spent a little bit of time fighting yourselves, and we've got that festival coming up. If any want to do a couple of sparring matches, you got some free time for it. And she just kind of does this for a bit. Yeah. Either against each other, against me, whatever you want.
I'm down.
Pick your poison. We got time for 2 or 3 of these. But I'm gonna go get Panacea. And then she, like, another one of her splits up. She's like, I'm gonna go get Panacea.
That makes sense. I'm still legally exhausted from everything I've already done, and I'm assuming vigorous exercise didn't help. So for once, Ren is just gonna sit the fuck down on a bleacher and be like, I'll watch.
This is just, if anyone wanted to take a swing at another student, this is your opportunity. Or if anyone wanted to take a swing at Duplex, this is your opportunity.
I feel like Duplex would floor me.
Oh, yeah.
Allie would offer to Jareth if he
He'll take you up on it.
particularly wanted to.
He'll take you up on
Okay,
it.
sure. Okay.
We're not gonna have to roll this out. It's 1-on-1. It's just a you guys keep testing the powers you want to test.
Specifically because he wanted to test to see if he could keep his blood inside of him.
Yep. So that is
what
literally,
I'm
you guys
helping
get
him
into a
test.
corner, and that is what he's going to test. You watch as the air around him thrums, and it's like looking at a heat mirage. As the particles are moving so fast and trying to pull so close together that they can't. As he is trying to basically create an impenetrable barrier around himself.
Cool.
That's super cool.
You still manage to rip the blood out, it just stays inside the barrier.
Ew!
Just like,
Progress.
You flood it like a Coke can.
yep. It's like, gotta try something else.
Like when those double insulated cups have
Yep.
a break on the
Uh-huh.
inside.
Yep. Anyone else?
I'm stepping forward. Not challenging anyone in particular. If none of the students want to throw down, then it will be with Duplex.
Cool. Robin, anything?
Have I fought Kurt recently?
No.
Check his
Kurt.
stats.
Cool. You and Kurt?
I just
Cool.
got card recently.
Which one do we want to do first? Duplex or Kurt?
You can go if you want.
Sure.
Sure. Roll for a quick initiative.
Cool. 4.
Cool. He beats you.
Yeah.
So you guys
That was
find,
easy.
like, there's a bit of the room that's set up. And you and Kurt prepare. And he's like, you have to hit me, don't you? And he proceeds to, like, grab his bracelet and, like, just rip it into a shield shape. Like a proper, like, kite shield, but only to, like, his elbow as opposed to, like, a full one. It's like a little buckler kite shield hybrid. And that's him.
Cool.
That's the whole turn.
Nice. I'm guessing we're not gonna roll it all out.
No, that was testing a flavor thing. You said you
Oh,
wanted to
okay.
fight Kurt. You're fighting Kurt.
Yes!
Then I would...
Assume that you're 60 feet away.
Okay. Then I'm going to vacuum him to me.
Cool.
It's perception based.
Yep.
I'm in a direction towards me. Move object
Yep.
4.
Yep. 4, and he's that way. So you move him in front of you.
Cool. Nice. Then I'm going to...
That's your standard, isn't it?
Yeah, that's my standard.
Okay. Anything for your move?
I'm gonna pull him to me, and then I'm gonna jump away.
Pull him to me, give him a big hug, and tell him he's good enough.
Nothing for my move, but I'd like to use my assessment.
Sure.
I've
got that on the card.
Yeah, because I wrote that down.
Yep. rolling versus.
Deception. Total. My insight check is a 24.
Versus his deception.
Mm-hmm.
You succeed by 1 rank. So what do I have to? Let's see. So check his free action, opposed by deception. If you win, his attack and defense bonus is relative to yours.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So pick one bonus.
Um.
And you'll get to know its relation to yours. So you can pick dodge, parry, toughness, fortitude, will, ranged combat, or close combat, basically.
I would like to know his parry relation to
In
mine.
relation to yours, his parry is the same.
Cool.
Kurt! No wonder I punch you square in the jaw every time.
So for flavor, you pull him towards you, and you watch as he just like with his thumb kind of loops that shield, and the pointed end just shifts over to here, and you're vacuuming him towards you, and he's gonna try and hit you.
He's about to Full Metal Alchemist you.
Yeah. Trying to.
You are here. Your parry is a 3,
Correct.
so it's 13, and he does not connect.
Kurt. Rain watching just like.
And then for his move action, he's just gonna back up 30 feet. Like he goes for this, and then just it's kind of that anime hop 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 backwards. And his shield just kind of back to its regular stance.
Super Smash Bros.
And he just does a little glasses raise. Go for it.
Raise. Then. Why not? I'm gonna.
Vacuum again!
No, I was gonna.
Just
Throwing a bleacher at Kara seemed to work pretty well. So
Throw a fucking bleacher at
I'd like to throw a bleacher.
Why not?
as it starts getting lifted, Rin is going to leap to the other side of Kurt, just like.
Just ready to catch it.
Cool. This is versus his
Oof.
dodge.
That's only gonna be a 9.
9 does not hit his dodge. You just pick it up and miss. You do not think this is not the high stress that Kara was. Your mind isn't as hyper focused. You throw this bleacher and it just skids to the side of him, and he looks back at you wide eyed. He's like, "What the
Me.
So for his turn, he's gonna take the bracelet on his other hand and just pull it out, stiletto style.
Okay.
So he's got this sort of like whip sword,
Okay.
Oh.
and he is going to maintain his distance because that's his standard.
He's 30 feet away, so.
He's gonna move another 30 feet away.
Okay.
Rin taps on the back, is like, "You got this," and then continues to back up.
Fuck it. I'm gonna fly right up to him and try to use my damaging attack.
Sure.
Punch attack.
Your damaging attack.
I'm gonna
You're
try
gonna make him hyperdense.
Punch
Yeah.
him.
It's my secret.
Trying to
weapon.
make him hyperdense.
Get him.
That is a nat 20.
You get him
Cool.
good.
His shield uses interpose.
Oh!
As it would hit, and his shield just takes the hit. His shield immediately crushes around his arm, and he thankfully scraps the material as it's like about to, you know, crush him. He's just like,
First good roll of the night.
Crits allow you to pick from a couple of different things. Are any of the things like an alternate effect that
Yep,
you might be able to
alternate
use
effect.
to like blind him?
and this
with
can,
the...
yeah, you can try an alternate effect, and he'll get a save versus that.
Okay.
Pick a status effect.
Can I see
Incapacitated.
what status? The first thing that comes to my mind is hindered because it's crushing around his
Sure.
arm.
That would reduce his speed rank.
Cool.
Okay, he's gonna make a
He's
DC
gonna
15
walk
save.
away half as fast.
Yeah, he is hindered. It like parts of the metal like fall and crush into his leg before he has the opportunity to scrap it. So he's gonna be hindered because he failed to save. But his free action, he takes the rest of that scrap and basically reforms it. So he's got the whip sword here, and the shield like crushes around his arm. He's got less material to work with, so I'm actually also gonna reduce the effect rank of his create by 1.
Okay.
And I think he basically just makes like a bladed gauntlet almost. Not like a blade, just like a
Gauntlet spikes.
gauntlet. Just a metal gauntlet around his arm.
That clearly worked well for the shield.
Yeah, he has less material, so he can't cover the full surface area, so he's spreading it a little thinner. Then for his turn, he's gonna go ahead and try and get you with that whip sword.
Okay.
2 does not hit you.
No.
2 does not hit you. And he's going to extra effort to and then he's going to just sort of flick it in the air, and it disassembles up there, and it's shrapnel rain coming down on you.
Ooh.
What a punk.
Cool idea.
A 4 doesn't hit you. A 4 does not hit your dodge, as he now has like basically half the material in his hand, as opposed to the full whip sword. He flicked it up there. It came down to shrapnel rain, and he's like, "Oh, balda." Your action.
Cool.
Now he's double.
Knowing that his parry is only a 3, that
Yep.
I basically have a 50-50 to hit him with my decompression sickness. So
Yep.
I'm gonna try to do that. +3 to attack close.
Do it.
8.
It's an 8.
8 is not.
Y'all are both flailing
Yeah.
at each other.
No.
Consider it less flailing and more like they're evenly matched. It is,
And they're
like,
also both tired.
yeah. It's not even that they're poor martial artists. It's that some students are excellent martial artists. Like they're fighting at like a
Don't know what they mean.
Sounds fake.
yeah.
And I'd like to do another assessment.
Sure.
This time trying to assess his dodge. Oof, that's a 13 on my
Yeah, you have
insight.
no idea.
Okay.
You have no idea its relation to yours. He's going to take the half sword he has in the gauntlet and scrap creates another shield. Basically the same thing as they mesh together. Then he's just gonna go for a quick bop. Shield bop.
Shield up.
That's gonna hit.
Ooh.
Okay.
Make a toughness check.
You're the toughest.
You're fine. He's gonna have a hard time hurting you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyone's gonna have a hard time hurting her.
That was the idea.
Yep. As he your action. This is gonna be a quick back and forth.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the damaging affliction this time. 21 to hit.
His shield uses interpose. So his shield basically takes the brunt of that, and this time he just lets go of the scrap as you touch it, and he's just gonna catch it with his hand because he has a reaction to re-scrap, and he's going to make a knife, and he's just gonna.
If all else fails, knife.
No! Yep. He's just going for a hilt strike. But you notice the knife like has a lot of like metal trailing off the back end.
Okay.
That's not 20.
Oh!
So he's gonna hit, and I'm gonna go for increased effect.
Okay.
So it's a +5 to the toughness check.
Curse
So
a thug.
go ahead and make that toughness check.
Cool. That's a 14.
14 is not gonna be enough.
No,
You are going to suffer a wound, and you are dazed.
Ouch. He stabbed you good.
That was a good stab.
And like he's got the blade in you. He's like, checkmate. It's your action.
Checkmate's a bit
son of
bold.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I just want to reach out and like try to, because his arm is right there.
She's still in touching range.
They're both in touching range.
Yeah, and I wanna, I really want the decompression sickness to hit because it's so cool.
Try and hit.
It's new. It's a new toy. That's a 15.
That hits his parry.
Yeah.
And he has no
Is it
defensive options up.
DC 14 fort resist.
He fails by 2 degrees.
So he is disabled.
Disabled. -5 penalty on checks.
Yep.
He just
Okay.
vomits on you.
Shit.
And then he's going to do his gnarly thing.
He is not gonna. It's gonna suck coming back through that.
Whoa.
He's gonna have to bend twice.
Yeah.
Also, getting the bends in 6 seconds.
Uh-huh. Yep.
I just need you to make a toughness check.
Okay.
Oh no.
The knife.
Explodes.
No.
It's a 19.
So, it is so like you've got this open wound. The knife is still in, and you watch as the metal rivulets on the back course up the blade like a snake. And the moment they would enter you, you just crush it.
That's the worst shit I've ever heard.
Yep. And he's like, "Oh, bother."
Now you just have a knife inside of you.
Yep. That's his standard for his move.
Isn't he dazed?
Yeah, he's
dazed.
done. That's you.
He's messed up. Poor kid.
I mean,
And then he would need to make another save against decompression sickness.
Yes.
which he fails.
Oh my god, Kurt.
Okay.
Thankfully, this isn't cumulative. Is it cumulative?
It is not cumulative.
Okay, cool.
The other one is. which is what I would like to do next.
Okay, what is it?
Damaging attack.
Sure.
A 7 to hit. That's going
Yep.
to be okay.
Then when I see the table nodding, because Dax keeps track of everything's defenses, I'm like, yeah, you're good.
DC 15 for resist this time.
Fails by 1 degree.
Okay, so he is fatigued.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's also at a -5
Yes,
from.
he is.
So fails by
He's
2
disabled.
degrees.
Cool, so he's prone now.
Put him on the
Ground! As the density and nausea and vertigo are all hitting him at once, and he's very much like.
And all Robin says is, "Stay down, you've lost."
His hand's still in the knife, and he goes, "Okay," and he's just gonna try and pull it down and out. He does not. Well, he does hit. Roll a toughness check.
Even with the -5, I'm
Yeah.
assuming still?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
her parry's weak.
I guess she has a pair of 3.
So am I making the toughness check?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that's 17 plus 8 is 25.
Yeah, no, the blade just kind of harshly scraps against your body before like metal shards fall to the ground. It's like, I give up.
I release.
Rin power slides in and we have a winner!
And
Also, Panacea, we have a stab wound!
Hennessy's already over there. She's like, you have a stab wound. You have some awful things done by our dear here. And she's like, Kurt, this is going to be much worse than recovering from a stab. And he's like,
his body repressurizes.
yep. And then she's going to look at your little stab wound and she's going to touch it. Yep.
On the ground, just like on a granola bar.
Oh. And she touches you. And all of your afflictions.
I'm okay. Have you ever seen that GIF? It's of the guy who plays Ant-Man.
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
Rudd.
It's Paul Rudd, and he's sitting at a computer, and then it starts to get all distorted, and he's like, fuck! I'm okay.
Yep.
I imagine that's what Rin's like. Whenever she goes through the reverse
Panacea
muscle,
reverse.
she's like, okay.
Yep. And Panacea's gone around and given every student the treatment at this point. We're going to clear out of PE.
Yep.
You want to fake duplex?
Yeah, but that doesn't need to be a full-fledged...
Oh, I'll tell you right now, Duplex makes 6 copies of herself and swarms you.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
If she's gonna, like, if you're gonna fight Duplex, she's gonna fight.
Sure. Multi-attack spread along all 6. And that'll be...
He's gonna try and
Seven.
group suplex.
Oh, 7 total?
7
Yeah,
total.
7
Okay.
total.
7 total. That would be a...
16 attack?
Plus 7 to each attack.
Oh.
23.
No.
Holy shit!
So I need to
she's hard
roll
hit.
a 19 or better.
Mm-hmm. She is
18.
almost exclusively parry. She's also a higher power level than you guys, so her caps are higher.
Okay. I rolled, I believe it was 7, got 18s, which would have been a 25, I think. Which I don't know if a 25 would do it.
The first one was a 23?
3.
25.
Yeah, 2 25s.
25 does.
So
Okay.
2 of them get hit.
Yeah.
They will probably pass their 2 toughness check, or 12, DC 12 toughness
Both
check.
of them succeed.
Grabs occur at a 15 and a 17.
You grab 1 copy of Duplex.
Oh my god, he's doing it!
And then move object. Sorry, in affliction cues at first, 13 versus 4.
Success.
Okay. And then move object, which if I kept a hero point, this would have been 10 does not.
No. And then they're gonna make a team attack.
Crunch. I'm feeling such legitimate fear right now.
We have fantasy. It's fine.
So it's gonna be a +2 because your parry's crazy. And then it's gonna be like it's a lot of them grouping around, throwing feints, throwing strikes in. You're doing a great job in the middle of 7 opponents who are on every side, parrying and getting out of the way. And that's
Nat 20, nat 20, nat 20.
no.
That one?
No. I don't think with the +2 any of them, like with their bonuses and the highest on the team deck, I don't think any of them actually hit you.
Okay. So, after
Yep.
that turn, just be like, okay. You all feel the same thing, right? and then I'll focus just a single attack on one. That is a 23, which does not hit.
No, it's gonna get. It's even less of a parry. It's more of just a brute force push out of the way. You come in with this strike, and Duplex simply just outmuscles it.
And move by attack.
Yep.
You go to the ceiling.
Yep.
Stand there and.
Cool.
Your turn.
I'm like, not the first time. And then they're gonna proceed to Human Pyramid.
Yeah, they are.
As they're gonna make a mound of 5, and then one's gonna hup and make a jump check. To not get up to you.
Oh my god! Duplex!
And then as she's in the air, you watch the 5 copies disappear.
Naruto!
And she just extends out with her hand, and 5 more duplexes coming at you in the sky.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. They're gonna team attack you because they go next in initiative because it's a create-based power. 2 degrees, 27 exceeds.
Oh my god.
Make a toughness check for me.
14.
Yeah, the one that gets through Superman punches you.
Of course.
And
it's
you
a
are going
Superman
to.
punch.
Well, I mean, that's what it has to be. They're flying through the air.
I mean, yeah.
And you are going to be staggered and suffer a wound.
And now, are they all poofing out of the way?
They're not moving, they're falling.
Yep. All 5 of them.
Yep. You've got one in the air who just, like, threw the others, the 5 falling, and then the one still on the ground. Or in your grapple, actually. Right? No?
No.
One on the ground. Because there were 7 total.
I didn't. Ooh, I was grappling one of them.
Yeah, you've got one in your hands.
Okay. Oops. I
Like,
forgot
oh,
about
dang
that.
it, I still got you too.
Legally, I can't do anything because I would not have been able to move. So I'm going to say it that with that grappled one, I did the instant throw.
Sure.
And that one needs to make a DC 14 toughness check.
Succeeds.
Yeah. And yeah, to end that.
Mm-hmm.
So now it is my turn. They're falling through the air.
Yep.
They're already falling. So
Yep. Every one of them.
let's just try to pile drive. It's going to disappear as soon as I do this because I watch Naruto. But at the very least,
Naruto's not a pro wrestler.
again a 23 to hit.
They're falling, so actually a lot of their defenses are based on on the
Active
advantages that give you like proper defenses as opposed to martial prowess. So that's going to hit.
DC 12 toughness check.
Success.
17 grab.
1 degree failure.
Okay. 19 affliction.
1 degree failure.
Okay. Impaired. Move object is a 9.
Well, they rolled a 4 and they're impaired, so that's a -2, and it's their strength.
It is resisted by strength at this point. Yes.
So you still succeed by 1 degree.
Okay. So now I can move them. Legally, I can move them at a rank of 5 now.
So you're gonna pile drive one of the duplexes?
We have the open skylight now because we clarified that it was up.
Sure.
And this one's going to poof out of existence as it would have had to make a DC 29, I think. Yeah.
So you're gonna smash it. It doesn't poof immediately. You smash it in, and then like you just you hear this like slapping on the ground as on the ground level duplexes 1, 2, 3, and like counting down her own takedown as you have her pinned.
Okay.
She counts to 10. It disappears. He's like, "Good bout, kid."
We still going?
Why?
It's good training to fight multiple opponents. Unless, do you think we should stop?
I think we should,
Okay.
because the DM thinks we should.
But thank you for giving me the chance to train.
Yeah. Thanks for being fun. As I drop my assistants from behind the screen. And that's going to end our PE class. I didn't want that to take too long.
You're good.
I just wanted to show a little case of Duplex doing Duplex stuff. The Duplex is dumb. And we've got extracurriculars, but it is also 10 o'clock. And the extracurriculars are not something I plan on doing every day. If there's anything people wanted in a specific extracurricular, we can absolutely have it. But otherwise, if there's any... I know there's one thing with you. What's everyone want to get up to after school?
Brandon's just doing Fight Club.
Cool.
Nothing fancy.
Cool. Fight Club.
Do we have the contact information for Virgil?
Yeah.
Want to text him and be like, do you eat alone or you want to grab dinner?
Want to hang out?
He's like, dinner's fine.
Okay. And I have to take my actual made nutritional lunch
Yep.
to him because that's how being a student works.
He makes a point to, like, he's in his office, which we all know where that is.
Yep.
Yeah, it's in the building with his office in it.
I mean, when I gave the original app, there was an administrative building.
Yes.
Yeah, I can probably find it. I'm not going to.
I probably could too, but I'm not going to.
It's there.
So you're going to do dinner with Virgil.
Mhm.
Anything, Robin?
I mean, Jareth hasn't texted her back yet. So
What did you text her? What did you text him?
At end of the previous day, just like, hey, can we talk? But he hasn't texted.
Then he'll respond with sure, because it's been 2 weeks and the DM forgot that.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, you get a sure back.
Cool. So want to chat with Jareth.
Cool, I got 3 people. Initiatives.
24.
11.
18.
Cool. 18, 24, 11 is the order we'll operate in, just because we just did the duplex scene.
Mm-hmm.
So we're up first with...
I
A
would
phone call.
first, go up to Kurt and claim my secure phone
He's like,
line.
oh, right.
Just if you had the time, like it's been busy.
He's ending and he's like, oh, right. And he reaches into his pocket and pulls out this little ball of metal and just...
Oh, thank you.
I set aside all the materials the other night. I just forgot to give it to you.
Are you doing okay? Maybe
Yes,
the
I
right
just
word.
got beat to a pulp.
Yes, I just.
Oh,
Well,
you're
I
asking...
checked
Oh,
it anyway.
okay, about what? Sorry.
Just in general, it's been a tough few days, and I know we conversed yesterday, and you did not seem to be doing well, and you were uncertain about things. So I just wanted to check in.
Oh, I feel horrid.
Is there anything I can listen to or assist with?
Virgil Cowell is the mesmerist. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still dealing with that one too.
Oh, I wasn't dealing with it. I was testing it.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it's safe to say among the student body.
Mm-hmm.
But that's as much as I've worked out, and I'm too afraid to say it to anyone else, but I'd like to. I'd like to tell the world. I do not think it's right. The phone line should be secure with whoever and whatever.
What do you think would happen to the school if you left? And the rest of
It
us
would probably
students?
collapse under the scandal.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Solar Flare could pull a caveat emptor and get, very,
Do you think any of us
Lunar
as
Eclipse.
students?
If Lunar Eclipse could become the president or principal of the school, then perhaps we'd be fine. That would be the way to save it.
Would any of us as students be allowed in anywhere else or be allowed to continue to learn to be heroes? Do you
I
think the
don't
rest
know.
of the faculty would?
I don't know.
It might be better to just learn until we know enough.
I just don't think it's right that he is free. That is my qualm. I don't mind learning from him. I don't like that he's free. And I have nothing to believe or nothing to go off of that says that this school is in fact a prison for him. They can say what they want, but I have no way to ensure that they're not just his cronies. I hate this. I will continue to develop tech that I believe can counteract the mesmerist's powers.
If you would like any assistance testing something, let me know.
With all due respect, Allie, you can't help with that.
Probably not, but you might need someone else besides your own physical body to test things on.
I don't test things on people. That's inhumane. I'm a bit dissociated from people, but I'm not actively malicious. I would never test something on another person.
Okay, just wanted to offer.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Wait, what for what? Oh, right. Yeah, don't worry about it. Call whoever you need to call.
Thank
Just get the material back to me when you're done.
And then Rin is gonna come over and slap Kurt on the back because she just gave Robin notes, and she's like, "All right, Kurt, that was a really good bout. You did really good out there. I'm liking what you're doing with the shield. Let me teach you how to stab a guy." And then she like ushers him towards.
As Rin
And the whole
starts-
time, the whole time he's just like, it's not about stabbing, it's about the fact that she's hyperdense and I can't stab through it. I need
I'm
material
aware,
that's
yes,
more durable. Like, he's intellectually like, no, I physically couldn't do anything
It's
there.
all about leverage.
Leverage. Look, the ribs are look. Here, look at your arm. I'll show you. Here.
She's like,
here.
"Have you ever heard of a samurai? Bad swords, good leverage."
And you have a phone call you want to make.
Mm-hmm. I'd probably, because Lenny, I'm assuming, has some kind of extracurricular.
Lenny's not
Okay.
in any of the clubs.
Okay.
She shows up to Fight Club sometimes.
Then
Yeah.
I'll go find somewhere. I can fucking do laps around the school
I mean,
so no
Lenny's,
one's overhearing.
Lenny's actually, like, not in your apartment.
Cool. Then
Your
I'll
little dorm.
go have the conversation there, because that's a comfort zone.
So?
It's called a Bluetooth.
You get a ring.
I'm specifically, calling.
Hello? Who's calling?
Hi, Dad. Right. I hope I reached my phone.
Oh, Allie?
Yes, sorry. Hi. Yes, this is Allie. Hello.
Hi.
It's school security. I had to call from a different line than my own phone.
Yeah,
just
we
in
didn't.
general school
Is
security.
this going to be your number in the future?
I don't know. I've been told to give the phone back to the kid who can
Well,
scrap and remake
we'll
phones.
just start answering calls from strange numbers then. That's okay.
I will probably try not to call very often, but
That's
I mean,
okay.
like, I
How are you
will,
doing,
but-
honey? At this point, if you haven't picked up, it's your mom on the phone.
oh, okay. I'm doing okay. School's been kind of tough.
I imagine you got into the world's
Uh-huh.
most prolific school.
Yep.
Of course it's tough. How are you handling it? Everything okay?
Yeah, overall, I haven't taken a lot of wounds. That's pretty okay.
A lot of wounds. Okay, well, practical. It makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, you know.
Mm-hmm. How are the teachers? How are your class? How many friends have you made? It's not just Rin, right? I mean, Rin's great, but you should really reach out.
You should find literally anyone else.
No, Rin. I just don't. You know how I feel. I just don't want Rin to be the only influence in your life because Rin is very bold and durable, and you're not. And I love you, and I mean that. I mean that very gently, dear.
I know. I'm learning to be more durable because that's kind
good.
of thing.
That's good. Yeah,
I don't know about close friends, but
I didn't say close, just friends.
yeah, I get on with my classmates.
Cool,
I guess
tell-
is the best way to put it.
Who? Tell me about them.
There's a girl named Fia.
Fia.
She's
That's
got. Thank you. She's got. She's. I guess she's mostly deer. What's her dad's? What's
Buck
her,
Wild.
She's Buck Wild's kid.
Oh, he's always so funny in interviews.
I assume so
He
because
just
I don't
he just
remember
freezes
much.
up.
She likes fashion too, so there's that.
Okay. Has she drawn on your wings?
No, Mom, I'm the only one.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
know. I know. You said fashion and friend, and I thought maybe that had
Nope,
changed. Okay. Okay. I'm dropping the subject.
Thank you. No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Any other friends? Just Fia and Rin?
There's a kid who you forget about if you're not looking at him.
That's.
He's pretty cool. I like him.
I'd ask you to tell me about him, but I'd probably forget.
You might actually. I don't know how that would work over the phone with somebody else telling you. You probably
Neither do I.
forget.
Who else?
There's a snow kid. There's a sound kid. My
Hmm?
roommate can twist herself into shape. She's very stretchy. She's basically a spring.
She's a spring. That's cool.
Uh-huh. Mom, is Dad home?
Yeah. I'm sorry. You wanted to talk to Dad.
Not that I don't want to talk
No,
to
it's
you
okay.
as well.
It's okay.
I'm calling for a very power
uh-huh,
specific thing, and
yeah, I'll put him on the phone. I'll put him on
Yeah.
the phone. Hold on. And you hear in hushed tones, "It's for you." Who is it? It's our daughter. And he's like, "Oh, put her on. Hello, who is this?"
Dad.
How are you, dear?
More or less okay. I'm getting used to the hemomancy
Mhm.
thing and to saying it and stuff.
There's nothing wrong with it, you know.
That's actually what I wanted to call about because you and I haven't talked about it very much. And
No.
how I know that you figured out yours because before Crimson
Mhm.
was a
Mhm.
thing, and then that after she was a thing, you had to
Stand up for it, yes.
you were
Quiet,
How-
but
how did that?
stalwart.
How did you handle the sudden negativity around it?
Are your
The-
classmates judging you for your power?
Not anymore as much.
Not anymore as much, but they were.
Dad, you know, I was pulled from the first school because of bullying about the subject.
I'm aware.
And
Are you being bullied there? Do we need to move you to another
no!
school?
Sorry, I don't mean to be snappy. There's a sports festival coming up at the end of the year that's going to be filmed, and then parts of it are going to be televised, which means I'm suddenly going to be very, very public, and I'm looking for advice on how to deal with that, and I want to know how you did.
Well, I let my actions speak, dear. You know that there was plenty of stigma surrounding our family power, and you know that I am, well, through my hard work and dedication and courteous and professional nature, I suppose, really not judged for it. People use me as the example for how to turn such a you can't say, I'm doing air quotes, negative power into something positive. The precision that I'm allowed with my power, as it were, is unique to our family.
Can you go get Midnight off the sink?
Yes.
Wait, unique to our family? Yeah, nope, passing that one by.
Not unique within our family, but it runs in our family. It's in our blood. But I have done only good with it. And despite the criticism and judgment, I continue to do only good with it.
Yeah, yours isn't quite as
No.
easy to spot. It helps you a lot, though.
I mean, people are still aware I'm doing it. I mean, even if it's not as easy to spot, it's certainly just as lethal. When I'm inside someone, I could absolutely do some awful things, but I don't.
Yes, and so I was just wondering if you had advice on being in public with it, because I don't do public as well as you do.
I'm aware.
And I'm learning from Bryn, but...
Your mother thinks she's a bad influence on you.
Bryn's the only reason I'm in a hero school.
I'm aware. I said your mother thinks she's a bad influence on you. I adore her. I think she's a wonderful friend. You two pair each other perfectly.
We kind of crushed the other two kids in the ring.
You crushed two kids in a ring. Are you wrestling?
No, that's somebody else. That's one of our teachers. And a couple
Ooh,
of the other
Duplex
students.
is a teacher at the school.
I hope that wasn't confidential.
The quick
information.
inference.
Her dad's smart. No, it's not forbidden information.
Okay.
He just never asked.
Another thing I wanted to call about. I understand why you didn't say anything at the time when it happened, but were you ever going to tell me that I killed a man?
Yeah.
Or were you going to wait for that to come up in an interview somewhere?
I sense anger in your voice, dear.
I found out about it yesterday, and I'm still working my way through it.
How did you find out?
His son is in my class, Dad. And we've...
Keaton, right?
Yes.
That is a name that I've remembered for some time.
I know, because he went to your hospital, and...
Yes. I thought it would be crippling to a child to learn that they had killed a man.
I understand why you didn't say anything at age 12. But, why didn't you tell me at some point? Or were you... That's not the question. Were you ever going to, or were you just going to be quiet about it?
Of course I was going to tell you, dear. Being quiet about it wouldn't do any good. Now, did I need to give you the moment to gather yourself and a moment for the family to assess what the next right step was? Yes. But as far as telling you goes, the plan had been upon graduation. I wasn't aware that they were bringing you into the public limelight. So, I'm sorry. I thought that you'd have the resolve and hero mentality necessary at the end to endure that hardship. And it has been brought upon you sooner than I had wished. I hope you do not hate me for keeping it.
No,
secret.
I don't. Like, it makes sense why you wouldn't have said anything.
I just wasn't aware that they were doing public events at the school.
I don't know how
public. We will, like, I don't know if there's going to be journalists or anything that are involved.
Mhm.
Just
Mm-hmm.
was curious if you were going to say something.
I was, dear. I'm sorry that that's how you found out. Is the son angry? Should I talk to the teachers and have you moved into another class?
No. We have started it out like sensible human beings.
I'm proud of you.
I mean, he's still upset, but he's got the most willpower of anybody I've ever met. And we will help each other to grow. If only because finding out the information is what has given me a hero mentality, because I think I would have stayed a sidekick until knowing, and now I have to be a hero.
Ali, the moment you got accepted into that school, you stopped being a sidekick.
No, I didn't. The plan up until yesterday was to be Rin's sidekick. Until I found out that I could not be. If only on a friendship level, for her reputation, it wouldn't do much good to have me there. And on my own level, I have now something I have to make up for.
Ali, do you know that I failed before?
Yes.
Do you
And
know that I've
continue to
lost
save
lives?
lives. And yes, and you continue to save lives.
People don't talk about the failure. They talk about the success. I've killed people too. Not as an action, but as an accident, just as you. It is a heavy thing to bear at so young an age. It is a heavy thing to bear at my age. But accidents, unfortunately, happen. If someone is going to judge all of the good you've done by the insignificance of one mistake, not that a life isn't important, but you'll save countless more. If someone is willing to try and drag you through that muck, then you should let them wallow in it.
Rin said pretty much the same thing.
She is a good influence on you.
Yeah, she is.
Mm-hmm.
In with the parents.
In with the dad.
With one parent.
Yeah, you're right.
We're doing well. Not to divert the subject.
No, that's fine. Good. I'm glad.
We're doing well. Your brother's been difficult lately.
Oh, did he finally write a postcard home again?
He hasn't in a while, and it is frustrating to say the least.
Mm-hmm. So have you heard anything about him through any channels? Or is he just still AWOL?
Still AWOL.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other exciting teachers? You mentioned Duplex.
Psychology's a really good teacher. Real memorable.
It's mesmerizing.
Or any new friends? I heard your mom
Solar
asking.
Flare teaches art. That's pretty cool.
Solar Flare teaches art?
Well, now
What?
he also just sort of teaches how to be a hero, but like
That
it
makes much more
started,
sense.
It started as a sort of like self-exploratory art class, and I really liked it when that was it.
I mean, isn't expression part of being a hero?
And that's exactly what he teaches.
He seems appropriate for it. The man has a flair for flair.
You're a trauma surgeon. You're terrible at dad puns.
That's traumatic.
And your classmates, friends, how are things?
Sorry, I thought I heard a cat on a sink again. They're good. I had a rough start with one of them, but
Was it the Keaton boy?
no,
Oh,
different girl.
a different.
We seem to, if not friends yet, have sorted things out somewhat.
Okay.
We've stopped being difficult at each other.
That's good. That's progress. That's progress. You have to learn to make the correct incision before you operate.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got your in, and now you just
Not hit each other, I guess. I don't know.
Yes, my metaphor is falling short, but
Mm-hmm.
yes,
There's
do the finer work.
one kid who likes me, but I don't
kid
know what
who
to
likes
do with
you.
him. I don't know
A
what to
boy?
do with him. He's technically a bird, but yes.
So there's a boy.
An owl.
I don't know, because I know that he likes me, but I don't think I like him back.
You
but
don't
I-
have to. Have you let him know this?
No, because I don't know yet, and I'm not certain. It's the first time I've been asked out, Dad. I don't know how to work with
He
this.
asked you out?
Yes, yes, he did.
Tell me about this boy.
He's an owl. He's got wings,
That's a shared
And-
ground.
and he's got talents, so that's pretty cool. He's basically he's an owl. He's basically an owl.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about him, not his power.
He mostly just seems nervous all the time.
I mean,
He's got when he first came to the school, he I think was used to being the top of things, and
Mhm.
then part of the reason he seems to like me is because during the interview process I sort of made him not the top.
during an interview? You assaulted a student during an interview.
No, it was the process to get in school. Remember I told you there was the practical part of the exam,
But
and
you said the interview process.
gotcha, and I kind of ripped the blood out of him.
like, hi, my
You
name is
kind of
Aries.
ripped the
And she was
blood out of him.
Fuck you. Just punched him in
Okay,
the
so
nose.
he admires you because you made him bleed.
Maybe? I don't know.
I understand why you don't like him. That seems unhealthy, especially for a boy his age.
I sort of like a different boy, but I don't know if that's going to be...
Tell me about him.
Ryan's real sweet.
Ryan?
Shut up, Ren!
Who's this Ryan?
I don't know
Question.
how much I can tell you about him, because technically, if you're not looking at him, he doesn't exist. He's not an imaginary friend before you start getting worried.
Who?
Ryan. Does the name stick? No.
What name?
Okay. General boy, I like his powers essentially that you forget about him if you're not looking at him.
Oh, that's tragic.
A little bit, but I can still hear him.
Hmm.
And I still hear his heart going, so I'm just sort of aware he's there. And
That's very sweet, Allie.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it goes well.
I don't know, because I'm kind of busy not dying.
No,
and
romance is
not
not the
letting
goal,
people
but
die.
it is important that we, respect our emotions and understand that we don't really control the heart unless we actually do.
That's,
Emotions are outside of our breadth.
morbid.
For now.
You are probably higher up in various government food chains than
Very.
I am.
Especially, you are a student in a school, and
Yeah.
I am a world-renowned cardiologist.
Do you know anything particular about Moira, Crimson Tide?
You know her name.
Yeah, here
They
at
are
school.
teaching quite a lot.
The psychology teacher is, good at his job.
I'm impressed.
He's good at getting inside of people's minds. He's great at it.
Okay. Well, I've personally operated on a few of Moira's victims, yes.
Is there anything you'd tell me about her attacks by the way the wounds look?
Violent.
Okay.
I don't really analyze my patients like that.
That's fair.
I just fix them.
That's fair. If you hear any, or notice anything or remember anything, please let me know, because especially once things go public and
And
even
how
if
do I
it's when
reach you,
gra-
dear?
You could probably message my regular phone. Because I was going to be bringing up your hemomancy, I didn't want any kind of risk.
I will reach out to the school if we need to reach to you, and the school will have a secure method.
Yeah.
I assume you said your regular phone, so you're on a private line?
At the moment, yes. I specifically had this phone so I could make a specific call
phone
just to
made?
home. Yes, there's a kid in our class. Kurt D. Howitzer the third.
Yes, Kurt D. Howitzer III,
Yes.
owner and creator of Howitzer Technologies.
He made the phone.
He's a student there.
Yes, he is.
Why is he going to school? He's so smart.
Because he wants to be a hero, I think. He doesn't know anymore.
Oh, well. I wish him luck, and I wish you luck. Is there anything else, dear?
No, just let me know if you think of anything about Crimson, because when I go public, she's probably going to take notice of me, and that's probably going to be a smackdown somewhere in the future, and I just want to know things ahead of time.
I will tell you this. If she had a problem with other people using similar powers, she would have come for me already, and she hasn't, so.
Yes, but I'm going to be a little more public and heroic than you are.
No, but you're not wrong. Oh my god, that's not what I meant, Dad. No, that's not. Oh gosh,
I almost wish the phone just hung
And he
up.
goes, honey, do you hear that?
No,
Allie says I'm not heroic.
That's not what I meant.
And your mom says to his phone, dear, what are you saying
That's
about
not
your
what I
dad?
meant.
Okay, I know. We love you.
Wrong
He's
words.
teasing. He's teasing.
I'm gonna go do homework now.
Okay, we love you. We love you. Bye.
I knew how to clip.
Yep. Amazing. Yeah.
I'm gonna go be public and heroic, as opposed to my cardiologist father.
Who operates on victims of one of the world's top villains. And we're gonna move to Robin and Joe.
Okay.
So he just meets you out in like a public area in the track.
Cool.
You rang.
Yeah, are you opposed to walking?
I have legs. I walked here. Am I opposed to it? No.
To walking and talking? Okay, cool. And she starts heading towards off
And
campus.
as you start walking, he goes to lift his leg and it stays. And he's like, guess my legs are opposed to it. And then he gets back to walking with you.
Nice.
Yep.
So, briefly out of character, Robin is gonna head to like the equivalent of a convenience store.
Sure. Easy.
And I'd like to pick up some Band-Aids, a like little egg timer, and a couple things of like different textures.
Okay.
So like a soft bristle brush.
Sure.
And like a comb.
Yeah, you get these things. What are you doing?
Cool. And just like a little bag to keep them in.
Sure.
Cool. Back in character.
Yep.
I just wanted to check in with you.
About.
See how you're doing.
About.
A particular principle. Can I say that? I can say that.
As if we're asking God.
You are asking God.
Uh-huh.
I don't like referring to him as God.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about Virgil.
I'm talking about me.
Oh God.
Yes. Speaking of clippable,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Basically, as long as you guys don't mention the fine details,
Mhm.
like you cannot say my principal is the mesmerist. You cannot say Virgil Cowell is the mesmerist. You cannot say I know the mesmerist. Basically, like the principal is about as much as you can say. You always will have to check by me.
My principal is Virgil Cowell. I know about a great villain named the Mesmerist. My principal is Virgil Cowell.
Nope. Nope.
I love this.
Just say enough mundane sentences strangely enough.
You're like, what's going on?
And someone will be like, something's happening.
Yeah, is that? Are they having a stroke?
So my feelings about our situation.
Yes.
I would like to take his skull and bury it in the earth.
Are you planning on taking him up on his offer?
Eventually.
One-on-one
It's
or
gonna like it better.
with a group?
In whatever way is most effective to putting him in jail.
I don't know which will be more effective.
We'll find out.
We shall. And I guess how are you doing in general?
Fine.
Are we still like fine and stuff?
We're still friends, yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Why would we not be friends?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Robin, just because... What makes you think we wouldn't be friends anymore?
I don't know. Usually when you stop sitting with somebody.
Okay, I've had a lot of personal things to talk about with Allie. I'm sorry that my absence from the table has upset you, because she sits at a very different table from you. I'm back tomorrow.
Okay.
Very personal things with Allie, huh?
Are
I like to stir the pot.
you two dating?
What? Oh, God, no. Oh, no, you don't know how wrong that is.
Okay, then correct me.
I can't. It is not my place to talk about it. We were going over notes from the fight we had the previous day.
I will be honest and say I do not believe you, but I
Would you
will
believe
respect...
if I said that I cannot talk about it?
Yes, I was going to say
Do you care for dating?
no,
Why'd
I
you
was just-
ask?
because it would make sense. You said personal nature, so I don't know. It's the first thing that came to mind.
I can have more than one friend, Robin.
I know.
Are you jealous? You're jealous of my friendship?
No.
You can have more than one friend too, you know.
Robin wants the date.
Kurt wants to be my friend.
And
That's why I had to put him down.
That's why I challenged him specifically. I'm taking the Rin method of friendship.
have you reached out to other people?
I mean, like, Ramona.
Ramona's nice.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much it.
Okay, so you've got at least two.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Ramona.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, a friendship doesn't disappear because I don't sit with you for a day and a half.
I know. Also, just like, we went through a dramatic day, so I figured as a friend I should, like, check in with you.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff.
Thank you. Are you okay? At this point, you guys have been walking through the lunar landing for a
Mhm.
bit. Just kind of messy side streets
Mm-hmm.
here and there.
I will be.
Okay.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah. Sorry for not asking sooner. We didn't really have a second to talk.
It's okay. I'm not, like... I'm thanking you for...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're welcome. That's what friends do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not okay. But I will be.
Well, we can talk about it. That's also what friends are for.
You know.
Do you want to talk about it, or should I drop the subject?
I kind of do want to talk about it.
Then talk about it.
But I don't... I already know that we disagree.
On?
So,
You don't know unless you bring it up. Don't make assumptions of me.
Okay. I respect him. I don't respect his methods, but I respect what he was and is fighting for.
Reform?
Yes.
You respect that he has a goal that he's working towards, or the goal in particular?
The goal in particular and the general having of a goal, which, I mean, I don't have a specific one right now, so...
Be a hero.
Yes, it's a general goal.
What do you want to do as a hero, then?
I mean, make the world a better place.
Well, that's a goal.
I mean, the thing is, my goal is the same as him. I want to make a world in which he doesn't exist.
Sounds like he does, too.
I know. That's the problem.
Sharing the same goal? No, the problem is his methodology, Robin.
I know.
The problem isn't sharing the same goal. We all want to make the world a better place. I hope we all want to make the world a better place. Sometimes I just want to punch things, but, I mean...
You and Rin both.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean...
He is my brother. He's the other one.
You know, like... We're not killing people. We're not manipulating people. We're not, like, using our powers over those who can't prevent it. We, you know, we're not abusive. We're not evil.
I know.
Just because he says he wants to make the world a better place doesn't make everyone else who wants that just like him.
No, but I kind of feel like I think like him.
So, you're not doing like him.
No.
He's a smart man. You're a smart girl.
He's utilitarian
Yeah?
to an extreme, and I don't like the extreme, but I like the philosophy.
Well, you don't have to like it to the extreme then. Take
Yeah.
what you want from his lessons and leave the rest behind.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
I guess I just I don't really know exactly what a villain should be then. Just in general, like, I don't know. I guess my general definition that I'm working with right now is that a villain does not care about the means in order to achieve their ends, where we have to care about them both.
I mean, utilitarian thought would say that he does care about the means. They have to weigh less than the ends.
True.
So I don't think that's the correct definition of villainy. I think a villain is just a bad person. I think that's all it boils down to, Robin, is they're the same as you and me. That's what they're teaching, but they're a bad person. You wouldn't think, I'm going to kill 5 people to save 6. That's 5 deaths. That's 5 families suffering. That's 5 children without fathers. That's 5 innocents gone and 20 plus lives affected by 5 deaths.
What if the trolley's rolling down the track, you pull the switch?
Doesn't make you evil. Stop the trolley.
That's what we can do, right?
Figure out who put him on the track in the first place. Punch him in the face.
You're much better at that than I am.
For now.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, hyperdensity. I can't physically hurt you.
You probably can.
I mean, I'm working on a way to, but that's not my top priority.
What's your top priority right now?
Making sure that I can beat Allie. Because when I can beat Allie, I can rest a little safer.
Well, you work on, you can magnetize the iron.
Pretty much anything.
The iron in blood?
Probably.
Then she's not a problem.
You know, it's like me telling you that, like, oh, well, because of physics, you have a solution. It's a lot more precise.
I know.
I'm working on it.
I'm not discounting your work.
Sure.
I'm not.
I'm teasing. Relax.
Okay.
Where are we? And you're like in this alleyway, just in the middle of the lunar landing, like trash cans against a wall, a couple of garbage bags scattered everywhere.
Gonna get jumped.
And then cutting the session. That's where we pick up next.
So long as we don't run into a virtual arcade, we should be fine.
What? Oh, the weird
Yeah.
Gambino fool who attacked you?
Yeah.
I don't know. Gambino sounds like a joke of a word.
It does.
Yeah, I don't know.
Should we start walking back?
He looks around at the other side of the alley you came from. Whoever that is.
They have a decent sense of direction.
Sure.
And just turns back around.
Yeah, and you basically round another alleyway, and it is, as the party mentioned, as someone kind of like blocks one end, and you're like, okay, we'll take another end, and just someone from that end.
No! No!
Yeah. And,
Robin, you're about to get mugged!
well, one of them like turns to you and he's like, "What are 2 kids doing out here so late?"
Walking.
Yeah, walking in this side alley where no one can see. It's dangerous. Someone could, hurt you. This is kind of the shady part of town, I could get you out for safe. Just, a couple of bucks for an escort.
Don't be stupid. Just please don't be stupid.
I don't know what you're talking about with stupid. I'm offering you safety. It's stupid not to take it. Couple of bucks. For safety. I'm real good at that. And he turns his arm into like a blade. I'm real good at protecting people. I gotta be, as a hero.
Don't make me say it again.
It again. Ha.
Self-defense is legal.
Self-defense? Why would I hurt you?
Exactly.
I'd protect you.
But
Yeah.
I'm not paying you.
Okay. Good luck, kid. Don't get lost. Go on, then.
I'm gonna try to walk by him.
It's by him. He's like, hey. Don't touch me.
I'm not touching you.
Self-defense is legal.
I'm not touching. I'm just trying to get through.
I don't want to move. want that protection fee? $2. And Jareth's like, all right, that's enough. And he magnetizes the dude's arm and just clings it to the wall. You done? He's like, hey, that's assault. And then the other guy is going to jump into action. That's where we're going to cut the session.
Yeah!
I'm so angry.
Then you have a thing?
Just eating lunch with dinner with the principal.
We can do that if you want.
As far as this is a great cliffhanger.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool. So that's where we're going to end. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Past, present, or future to New Dawn. I'm not going to do the regular spiel I do with that. I'm just going to keep saying past, present, future from now on. We hope you enjoyed, and thanks for stopping in. Welcome to our table. Bye.